What's up, guys, and welcome to Dirty Boot Sports, and this is going to be our third episode of our podcast. We appreciate everybody that has been listening so far. We really appreciate it. And as always, just remember to keep on liking and subscribing and giving us some ideas on some topics, okay? Before we get into everything, first let me tell you who all's here. We have Peyton Mitchell back on the mic. We have Clay Williams on the mic. We have Railey Garrett back from his short absence.
Hey.
And, of course, you have me filling in for Kyle as our host. But also today, we are introducing the one we call UFC Bill.
Welcome,
UFC Bill, welcome to the pod.
Hey guys, glad to be here.
Bill is going to be kind of like in and out of the pod throughout the episodes. And he'll definitely be here whenever there's a big pay-per-view for UFC events. And probably some more when football season comes around, talk about the Saints, talk about fantasy and all that kind of good stuff. So, yeah, before we get into today's episode, I first have to give a shout-out to Perry Minasian. I did not say Mini Asian, Kyle. I said Minasian. It's his last name, I promise. He is the Los Angeles Angels general manager, former Brave assistant general manager. And undoubtedly, he listens to the podcast because Monday, I believe Peyton said that the Angels coach needed to be fired because of their 11-game losing streak. And guess what happened the next day? Gone. Joe Madden was gone.
The man was canned.
they made it a 12-game losing streak.
Yeah, and they're up to 14 now, so undoubtedly Madden was not the issue.
Yeah.
Did y'all see what the new manager tried to do to stop the losing streak?
I did not.
The entire team's walk-up songs was Nickelback.
Oh, I did see that.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
They lost 1-0.
Oh, man.
Hey, we're getting closer, boys.
They're on the rise.
Wow. I thought it was kind of funny that Joe Madden was quoted as being surprised.
Yeah, he said, I didn't see this coming.
Yeah.
And then, what was it, 2 days later, the other Joe manager in the MLB, Joe Girardi, got fired.
Sure did.
Don't you think, Joe Madden, what, in his 70s?
Yeah. He's an old fella.
Don't you think that, the game has probably passed on the man a little bit?
Well, Girardi was probably about that, too.
Yeah, Joe's old.
He was a Yankees
Girardi's
manager
as
for
well.
15 years, probably.
Joe Madden's had a weird career.
He has. He kind of created the Rays down there.
He did.
He put them kind of on the face of the earth, I guess
and
you could say.
And they think he's God in Chicago now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he broke the curse, but then he got booted out of there as well, and now he went out to L.A., got some of that L.A. money, and now, so long.
But you got to know, he was set up for failure from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because in the AL West, those teams don't have a chance. You know that.
Why? Why is that?
That's the Astros division.
The Trastros, you said?
Look, they clinched the AL West on Thursday. Earliest it's ever. So, thanks to Joe Madden. And
hey, Nickelback is going to pull them out of it.
No doubt. That is the answer, for sure.
And real quick before we move on to the NBA Finals Game 3 recap, the Atlanta Braves have just won their 8th consecutive game. So, fellas, it might be getting dirty. And shout out to this guy from some New York news station that said that the NL East was clinched by the Mets about 8 days ago now. And we've won 8 straight since he said that. So, shout out to Sal, whatever his last name was.
Yeah, brought some good luck.
So, chop on, baby.
Heck yeah.
All right, Clay, you ready to talk about your Warriors and how they just blew it last night?
Yeah. So, I've expected a tough series, and Boston they've done everything that I feared. I
will say before the series, before the Celtics even won the Eastern Conference Finals, he said he did not want to play the Celtics out of anybody in the East.
Yeah, he's been pretty.
He said this is the team he did not want to play.
They're the team that they've matched us up well the past couple years. They're got a lot of long guys.
Wings.
Yeah.
That's they have the advantage of Golden State is the wing players.
And it's the physicality.
Yes.
It's on another level.
Well,
it's
and what's crazy about that is after Game 2, all them Boston players complained about the physicality, that the Warriors being too physical.
Really?
Before the series, Boston media was saying that they're gonna just beat up on the Warriors, that the Warriors are soft, and it took 2 games and 1 Warriors win for that entire script to be flipped.
Yeah.
Like I don't really know what Boston's expecting from the Warriors, but I know Draymond Green's not one that's going to back down from a challenge, and he played probably the worst playoff game I've ever seen him play in my life last night. So tomorrow night, he's going to play really well. He's going to play great.
Tomorrow night's do or die.
Yeah, it's a must win. I'm nervous because if we don't win, we go down 3-1. Yeah, 3-1 has happened once against us. I don't even want to talk about that. But I don't. Boston scares me. They do everything that we don't do well. Like they've got the wing depth that we don't have. They've got the interior presence that we don't really have. Kevon Looney's played great, but now Robert Williams is out there, and he's the most impactful Celtic on the floor for me, and it's not even close, really.
I wanted to ask you, who scares you the most?
It's Robert Williams, yeah. And I never, 5 or 6 years ago, whenever he was at Jonesboro Hodge, I never expected him to be that, you know.
Yeah, was he scary then?
Yeah,
He was a scary
well,
guy.
he was a good guy.
Big
And
fella, about
He's had an
6'9".
interesting career because he wasn't even the man on Texas A&M campus. Like, I mean,
No, he's never been that guy.
No, he's
but
never.
now he's
Hedge
second
took a
team
step
all
back that
second
second
team
year.
all defense in the NBA.
if he can play 25 minutes a game the rest of the series, I think
The
Golden
thing is,
State's in trouble.
he's hurt.
He's hurt. He's hurt.
And if he wasn't hurt,
He'd been first team all defense.
we'd probably be maybe down 3-0 in this series.
Wow.
And be looking a lot worse right now because he impacts the game that much. Like, and I feel bad that it's him being hurt that is kind of gives us a shot, and I'm anxious to see how he bounces back tomorrow. It's
Quick turnaround.
between game 3 and 4. That's the shortest rest of the series. Every other game you have 2 days off. This one is only 1.
Yeah.
So I don't know how he's going to do. Last night he played, I think, 25 minutes most of the finals, and then now he's coming back with another game, which is probably the biggest game of the
Just
series.
watching the game last night, Boston just seems to want it more. And I don't know if it's just because of their age compared to Golden State. I mean, the Steph Curry injury, I texted y'all in the group message. I said, rewind back. Curry was lazy on that rebound. Yeah. He goes after that rebound. Nothing ever happens before that. Yeah. But they just seem...
They always seem bored.
Their hands were on their
always seem bored.
Knees a lot. I mean, they just seem to be just tired. And also, the role players aren't stepping up, so they're having to play big minutes for starters.
Yep.
And they have such an age disparity from the role players to their stars. They don't have. They're either a couple year players or over their 30s. So I mean, there's not that happy medium for them. That
they left a lot of open shots too.
Yes,
those threes.
I felt like
Smart and Brown, man, they were
wide open.
Oh yeah.
But what I want them to do is, I want Jason Tatum to beat us. I want Jaylen Brown to beat us. Crap, I'll even let Marcus Smart beat us. I don't want Al Horford to beat us. I don't want Robert Williams, Derek White. Those are the guys that scare me more. Because as we've seen the past 3 series, we let Jokic get his, we beat them in 5. We let Ja get his the first 2 games, beat them 2 of 3. We let Luka get his, beat them in 5. Like I don't get scared by the stars of a team, especially when it's Jason Tatum and he's not even close to the level of the other 3 I just mentioned. Those guys can win a game by themselves. Tatum, I just don't think can. He's at his best when he's getting 25-ish and passing the ball as well.
Playing off ball a lot.
So game 2, he didn't really pass the ball that well. They lost by 20.
Yeah.
The other 2 games, he's had I think 8 assists last night maybe, and 13 game 1, and they controlled the game from the tip pretty much.
Well, let me ask you something. On a scale of 1 to 10, how scared are you right now?
Ooh. Okay.
Because I read your Twitter. He has a burner Twitter account, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
They just hit 300 followers out there.
KD's been teaching him a few things, huh? I got you.
Yeah, I got.
He's very active on there during the games. And,
I only tweet Warriors stuff and only follow Warriors people.
You seemed kind of scared last night on your Twitter account.
Because we lost the game within 5 minutes. I knew from the start we were losing that. You can just tell the way we're playing.
Was it the energy level?
We just
they didn't seem like they cared.
There's times where I've watched them play so many games for the past 10 years that I can just see what happens. That I know if we're gonna be in this game at the end or not.
Yeah.
And even though we had that little comeback in the third where we took the lead, was about 1 point for probably less than 30 seconds. Even then, I didn't feel convinced.
Yeah.
Like, usually I'm in the house yelling, saying, like, feeling the comeback. I was just sitting there watching it last night.
Yeah,
I was
Even
pretty
when they
quiet.
came back and got up by 2 or 3 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was
Really.
a time you thought, okay, they've turned it around.
Yeah, I turned on the game after that little run happened because I was trying not to be the bad luck guy, and then every time they went on a little run, got within 10, I turn it on, and then what do you know? The Celtics go on a run.
Yeah.
It feels like they always had an answer for everything that the Warriors did.
Yeah, and that's something that I did not expect from a team that had zero finals experience. I didn't expect the Celtics to be able to.
Well, you know what they
Just do
say:
that.
hungry dogs run faster.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
You could tell that they're more hungry than the legendary Warriors dynasty is.
Well, and I hate to be a kind of a novice about it, but how important are the refs in this series? If they get the calls, it seems like the momentum goes to Golden State.
I got plenty of stats to back that. I'll say so on the scale of 1 to 10, I'll go somewhere between a 5 and a 4.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And they were letting them be really physical last night, as we've seen before.
Yeah,
I thought.
Now,
I
if
feel-
they lose tomorrow night, you're going to be at a 10. You're going to say the series is over, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
It is over.
Yeah.
It's over,
I
but
think
only
it's
tomorrow
over.
night.
I don't think so. I think they
You
win.
think it's
I
over
they go
right
back
now?
and forth.
I feel like it's over, and the reason, because I was going to ask you this, Clay. You take Curry and Clay out.
Mhm.
Who's scoring for him?
Not Jordan Poole right now.
Jordan Poole's playing bad.
who's
basketball.
putting up 7 or 8 shots, and that's it.
Poole's not ready for that moment.
Uh-uh.
He's not.
Well, the thing
It's-
is, every
I mean-
time I think that, he proves to me that he is.
He does.
So
But
tomorrow night he might
I think
do something.
Curry's worried behind him in the fourth quarter because of that defense he plays.
Yeah,
I
his,
mean,
his
he's-
defense.
So he's not going to be able to give you the minutes for the points.
Yeah, last night I wanted him bench.
And I'm not gonna lie, it was about halfway through the third quarter, and I was like, "Wow, Wiggins is on the floor." Like, I mean,
Well, Wiggins, what about him is he doesn't get the shots to really be that third option because you've got Jordan Poole on the floor who's going to get his shots regardless. You've got Otto Porter that's going to take a couple.
Yeah.
You got those guys. And Wiggins, all I want from him is 15 and lock down the other player.
yeah,
Like, and he don't necessarily lock down Luka. He didn't. I mean, Luka got his 40
just
points.
control.
That's a tall
But he played probably the best defense that Luka's had on him all playoffs.
Well, I noticed too, Boston made an adjustment. They put Horford on Wiggins on defense.
Yeah.
And put Tatum on Green to switch on that pick.
Yeah.
And then, because then you get the, what you want there. And I think Wiggins got to say, all right, guys, I got Horford on me. Let's
He's got to get to the hole.
Yeah, we got to get to him. But I just feel like when I was watching, I was like, Clay's playing pretty well.
Yeah,
I
he,
mean,
he had,
best
he
game
had
of the
his
series.
he had
Yeah.
his first game of the series.
Right. And I'm thinking,
And we lost it.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't play great, but he didn't play terrible either. I mean, he had
Yeah.
20.
Well,
29,
he
I
played
think.
29,
3
yeah.
great quarters.
He did. That's right.
Then that fourth quarter, he had 3 turnovers in the first
He
3
looked-
minutes. Game
yeah.
was over.
He's probably
Right.
gassed.
I think he's
Yeah.
gassed.
Well,
I do.
another thing, he had his worst defensive game because Scott Foster called 2 fouls on him in the first 8 minutes of the game. So then you've got our best player who we cannot take off the floor.
He can't be aggressive.
He can't be aggressive.
Yeah.
Guys just drive in on him. He can't foul.
And what was that stat we saw on Facebook about Scott Foster?
Scott
and the
Foster's
Celtics?
12-0.
No, the Celtics are 12-0.
Yeah, the Celtics are 12-0 when Scott Foster refs
He's a 6 man.
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
So make that 13-0.
MVP.
Get him some green.
Now, did I miss?
Is he reffing the next game?
No.
He'll
He'll
They're
probably
gonna
do
keep the same crew.
No, it'll
They
be
rotate.
Really?
He'll do another game probably, but
That's weird because like World Series, they keep
They
the
keep
same.
the
crew.
no, there's
They
2 or
just
3.
change
There's
positions.
2
yeah,
or
they
3
just change their
groups.
spots.
Hey,
That's
now,
strange.
was Looney hurt? I mean, why wasn't he playing last
Don't
night?
know, but he's going to play more tomorrow night.
I mean,
because-
when Williams is doing what he's doing,
Rebounding.
he's the only option they got.
yeah,
He has to go in every time Robert Williams
He
goes
has
in.
to.
I think
I mean,
I think it was more because we needed points, so we had to play Jordan Poole a little
Yeah.
bit more. But honestly, last night I would have played Looney over Draymond
Oh, any day.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
because we needed that. And Looney can do the designated handoffs that Draymond does. I mean, he's done
Yeah, you're
he's done that.
standing.
Yeah.
Your body. It's just, I mean,
Stand there. Do not lean your hip
Yeah.
out and get a moving screen.
Yeah.
You are a wall.
yeah.
Be a
So
wall.
I questioned that why he wouldn't because I know I didn't see him. He didn't forward, did I?
No.
And I'm thinking Robert Williams is dominating you on the boards.
Mm-hmm.
Like, get a body on him.
And I think Robert had 4 blocks last night and
Yes,
like
he
3
did.
steals.
He did. I mean,
But to bring up fouls, so I looked up the little stats a little bit.
Yeah, hit us with
So we have between Tatum, Horford, Robert Williams, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, they averaged that's their starting 5 together. They averaged 2.88 fouls a game in the postseason. This series they're averaging 2.2. The Warriors, Steph, Draymond, and Wiggins, who are probably our 3 defenders that see the most action, averaged 3.1 per game this postseason. This series, 3.67. So the Warriors are up about half a foul per our main defenders this series. The Celtics are down half a foul.
That's a huge
whole foul.
statistic.
wow.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't shift much going into the playoffs.
No.
It should be pretty consistent.
Yeah.
And these are supposed to be the best of the best refs, based off
that-
of grades.
that-
And
That's a sick
another
thing.
crazy thing is Marcus Smart. When you think of the guys that are the crazy defenders in the NBA, Pat Beverly, Draymond Green, Marcus Smart. You think of them 3. Marcus Smart, he doesn't get those fouls that Draymond gets. And that allows him to be aggressive in that 3rd and 4th. No,
Nobody gets those technicals.
And those technicals. Those
Hey, how's the
technicals
technical
smart.
count though? What's his technical count?
I think
right
he can
now?
get 3 more.
He still has some room for error. Okay, 'cause
But he
that's
can
always
only get-
It's always a
Get
topic of
those.
discussion.
He can only get 2 more
What's the
flagrants.
over under?
Yeah, he might get thrown out tomorrow night if things go south.
Speaking of fouls, I did not agree with that flagrant they gave on Horford on Curry shooting.
That's soft.
That
That's soft. It's a foul.
correct
but
me
it's
if
soft.
I'm wrong. I thought the foul was the shooter gets his room, but he can't jump forward. He has a circle where he has to come up, come down.
But they give you a certain amount of
he's
natural
running
movement.
toward Horford.
Well, yeah, because he comes
jumps
around a pick.
forward.
And they kind of make it out like you karate kick somebody or something.
And
He got underneath
I
him.
really thought that was going to be the game to change it around for Golden State. After that, I said, "Oh, here we go."
It
Here's
was a 7-point play.
Yeah, and then
And cool rule play last night though he had 2 opportunities to make 1 point because you can't have a 5-point play.
Yeah.
That's a cool little rule
That is-
point.
yeah.
That's a little cool
And
thing.
then Otto Porter throws up a wild 3 with 12 seconds on the shot clock for some reason. Makes a 7-0 run, but it didn't matter.
Porter's kind of disappointed me. I really thought he'd be a little better player for them.
He's
coming
banged
off
up
the
a little
bench.
bit still. Huh?
Yeah,
I
he's
know
hurt.
he's banged. Yeah,
And I think he's hurt more than we think.
yeah.
Between him, because Gary Payton, and Iggy are all there banged up.
And Gary Payton's a phenomenal defensive player, but he's undersized with Brown and Tatum and them. I mean,
Last night he didn't play.
He's
well at
out,
all.
man.
He
right there.
is. He's out. I mean, he can give all he got. It doesn't matter. He's so undersized.
And last thing I'll try to dive into on this is the lack of calls Steph gets. I think it's a big problem. And one of the things about Steph, his game is always that people say he just shoots threes, he just shoots mid ranges, he doesn't drive. Well, I can prove you wrong.
We
So-
like these kind of facts.
So in the finals, the leading amount of drives is 43 from Jason Tatum. Second is Steph Curry with 39. And then the next 3 are Celtics. Well, free throws, Jason Tatum has drawn 10 free throw attempts on 43 drives. Steph Curry 2 on 39 drives.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, Steph Curry has driven 237 times and has only gotten 26 free throw attempts. Some of the players that have driven less, John Morant, who was out in the second round of the playoffs, he drove 200 times, 38 free throw attempts. James Harden, 178 times, 44 free throw attempts. So that's about 60 less drives and 20 more free throw attempts than Hall of Famer.
Yeah, top 5 player in the NBA probably.
Some other players above him that are, big superstars that get calls. Spencer Dinwiddie. Jalen Brunson. Yeah.
And those are the facts, folks.
Yeah.
There is clearly a bias, though, that you have statistical proof exists.
Yeah.
And he ends up on the floor every game.
He had 3 drives last
Always
night
ends
to
up
the
on the
rim
floor.
in the first quarter that didn't get called.
Well, I thought you meant Clay.
Clay collapses every day.
What was your reaction when Steph got injured? Was it
Deja vu.
Yeah.
Because it literally happened in either April or March, I forget. but it was in
March,
San
I think,
Francisco.
yeah.
Same kind of injury.
Yeah, against the same team.
Yeah.
Same foot and everything. He even
remember
said it
that.
himself.
Yeah.
But he said luckily that he's all good. No MRI even happened, and
Wow.
he's playing.
That tells you everything you need to know.
Now
'cause
I
he'll
think
put
he's
MRI on
I think
anything.
he's hurt more
Yes.
than he's gonna say he
Oh,
is.
of course.
But
He
we'll see
knows.
tomorrow.
I think he knows deep down this series is very important for his legacy.
It is.
I think it
I
really
think,
is.
I think he needs that MVP.
I think
And
if
I
he
freaking
gets
hate
the
that.
MVP,
He needs that MVP.
he'll be top 10 all time probably.
Yeah.
If he gets
He
the finals
gotta have that
MVP.
MVP.
And I hate that that's
Should
the
he
thing
be-
that's keeping it away from him.
Should he be top 10? Arguably, probably,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Already?
just think
Yeah.
about what he's done for the game.
I mean,
But
you
a
got to.
fourth title, which would be more than LeBron.
Tied
No,
with him.
tied.
That- he
tied
has
over.
four?
He has
He
four.
won it with that.
Oh,
LA.
that Mickey
Yeah.
Mouse one, that don't count.
Yeah.
That garbage don't count in that bubble. Well, still,
Bubble.
tied with the second coming of the GOAT or whatever.
Yeah.
And a Finals MVP, and the 3-point record, and the first ever unanimous MVP, then went back to back with the regular MVPs. I think that would put him top 10. Like,
And he's not
in
done.
submit with a Sharpie or something,
Oh, without a doubt.
without a doubt.
Yeah.
And this ain't his last try either. Even if we don't come up with the ring, which I don't think we're not going to win it. I think we're going to win maybe in 6 still. I think we might pull off 3
you don't
away.
think my 7's hope? I
I
like
think-
him at 7 right now.
Yeah. It's going to be 7.
I think-
Well,
it's gonna be
2015 we were down 2-1.
They're not going to. Golden State won't win it. If they're going to win it, it's going to be 7. I don't see them winning back to back.
If we win tomorrow, we go home to the Bay.
Oh, it'll be more back to back. Win 6.
Game 5, we win in the Bay. You telling Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Game 6, Klay Thompson, and
Yeah.
Draymond Green, you got one game to go win it all. Let's see if
When-
I'll take them over the Celtics any day of the
When
week.
2 of the 3 championships they've won have been on the road,
Yep.
and they had to slay King James for those 2.
Yeah, but I think
You
somebody
telling me
on
that
roll
they
is
can't
on
beat
that bench because
Jason Tatum?
Draymond's not going to give you the points you need. And you
Oh, he don't need the points.
But you
He don't
you
need the
need
points.
somebody to give you the points, though. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Maybe
You're-
Poole's going to
Curry and Clay can give you 60 from the both of y'all, and you still got to have some points
Yeah,
somewhere.
Is Iggy
Yeah.
done?
He's done.
Has he played
I
anymore
think
since
I
game
think
1?
they just want to give one more ride off in the sunset.
He played a little bit last night.
He
But,
played a little
and
bit.
he come in the trash minutes there.
but the thing
yeah.
is, he didn't play that bad Game 1. He played solid, but
Iggy,
then he got hurt.
Iggy's the player they need for the Tatum and Brown to fit size.
What,
Yeah.
7 years ago?
Yeah, exactly.
They need
not
Finals
the
MVP
40-year-old
Iguodala
Iggy
for
now. Right. I
Yeah.
think that. But, okay, let's say they lose this series, Clay.
hmm
What's the move in their offseason? Do they trade Wiggins?
Oh, absolutely not. Well, we've
You've got to make a move. If you
No.
don't win,
They
you're going
gotta have
to
another
run it
wing
back with the
defender.
same squad.
Yep. Well, we'll lose Otto Porter. He's played well enough that he's going to cash out.
Okay.
We're going to bring back Gary Payton. He wants to be a Warrior.
Okay.
He's got a crazy story I can get into another day.
But
Bielitsa, I don't know. Wiseman, he'll be back. He's going to be ready.
So
I think Wiseman could play right now.
They're just
But-
slow playing him.
When Steph got hurt, we didn't want to bring him back onto a team that was iffy and hurt his, I guess, image even more.
Because he got some G League minutes.
Yeah, he played
right?
like 3 or 4 G League games
I
and
think-
was ready for the comeback. Steph gets hurt. Wiseman's out.
They're
for the
going to be
year.
careful with the 20
I think
year old or
Wiggins can get
21
you
year
some
old.
good assets coming back to you though if you trade them.
But
It's
got to be something that there's no one
Get off
that
that
we can
contract.
get that can replicate what Wiggins gives us right now.
I think you get a couple of them. I think you get a couple of good role players off the bench compared to what you got right now. If you're losing
I
Porter,
don't know.
I mean you're down.
Kaminga and Moody are going to step up.
You think Moody's going to step up?
Yeah. I mean, Moody played great minutes last series.
Yeah.
And that's why I think I don't think this dynasty's done because
no, I'm not saying it's done.
Yeah.
I just think they need some
well,
fresh legs.
Pole's got one more year with a team option. It's cheap next year. Wiggins got one more year on his contract. So after next year,
There'll be some turnover.
you've got to kind of
'Cause
make
by
a decision.
then, Kaminga should be
Kaminga
ready,
year 3,
technically.
Moody year 3.
Yeah.
What year contract Draymond in right now? Is he got one
He's
more?
It ain't
got
gonna
he's
matter.
got
They're
like
gonna re-sign
he's got
him.
like 3 left.
I know, but man, he's killing the books right
Yeah.
now.
Well, so is Clay.
for what their productivity is giving you. So I mean,
And I think next year Clay and Dre will be a little bit better than they are now because you've got the young guys that are going to help take a load off of them during the regular season, and I think we'll just have more depth next year and be that team strength in numbers. That's been our
I
motto.
feel like they're bench is a good regular season bench right now.
It is, yeah.
It gets them through the regular season.
And Bielitsa is someone that I think needs more minutes tomorrow night. I think he played
Who
really
would've thought
well.
you had
He
said
played
that?
really well
Who,
game 2.
right?
Who would ever thought you said that?
I mean, if I'm Kerr, why not try Moody? Give him a little
And we
run.
might.
Give him a little run in the first half.
And that's something
I mean-
about Kerr I've always kind of liked too. Like
try
throughout
anyone,
throughout
don't
the
care.
dynasty, man, he's going to stick to that rotation.
Yeah,
And the
he
fact
does.
that I didn't even watch the second half hardly last night, a little bit off and on. The fact that he messed up Steph's rotation kind of shocked me. That because
Yeah.
the thing is, Steph always plays the whole first to the whole third. It's been that way for as long as Clay's been watching. I've been watching with him every now and then. And then he comes back like midway after the 8-minute timeout in the fourth and the second. You know, the fact that he had to play that whole fourth quarter had to be strange.
Yeah.
You know, and I
And,
bet
and,
that
well, he
probably
rested
played
the
his
last
mind.
3 minutes of
Yeah,
the third.
it was something he wasn't used to. I'm sure.
But it was the right move. People are criticizing it, but I think it's the right move. It's Steph just didn't
they
show
felt
up.
they
in the
felt
fourth.
desperate. They felt a little bit
You gotta give
desperate.
your team a chance to win it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have your best players on the court for
Yeah.
sure. I get that, but
And Steph,
It's-
he's being forced to play 40, 42
Well,
minutes.
yeah, Kerr's
And now he's hurt.
Kerr sees Poole not playing like he wants
yeah,
to play.
and that's hurt.
He has no other option.
That's hurt.
There's no other guard he's going to throw out there that he can trust. I mean,
Because I think back to the old days, they had Sean Livingston that came out there and gave quality minutes.
quality.
I got
yes.
one question real quick. Do you get really nervous when Draymond's talking to the refs? Because I do. I'm incredibly nervous. So, like, what's going to happen?
I mean, there's some times where it just happens and he just goes off and they get him
Did
thrown
he do a
out. but
podcast last night for the game?
He did.
I meant to listen to it.
And he
Was
said
it
I
quality?
played terrible. Yeah.
I would have loved to have
And
that
people
one.
were criticizing that too, but I don't
Yeah.
think that matters at all. Andre Iguodala also was on Twitter Spaces last night at like 12 a.m. Like,
Yeah, and
like barely left the
I saw
arena.
pictures of Steph and Clay on the sideline with like 30 seconds left. They don't seem
They're
fazed.
smiling.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't think we should be worried if you're
Almost
a
like they
Warriors fan.
Wanted to lose, man.
Yeah, they're kind of like,
Yeah.
we've
Warriors-
been here before.
We'll win tomorrow night, and I wouldn't be shocked if we win it in 6. Wouldn't be shocked if we win it in 7. Wouldn't be shocked if we lose it in 6. But we're not losing in 5. I'll say that.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
So
No
while Clay's still having a little passionate debate right here and speaking from his heart, Clay, talk about the College World Series the other day. Something that he actually noticed for Monday's show that we had, but luckily we didn't do it because we would have really long Monday if you'd have talked about this. So we're kind of backtracking here, and Clay, give us a little quick stat about the Oklahoma State and Arkansas regional. Do you still have that in your
Yeah, I
phone?
do. So the Oklahoma
Listen to this,
State,
guys.
Oklahoma State, they played Missouri State. You know, I don't really know what Missouri State ever does athletically.
Not sure what their mascot is.
Yeah,
And they made a regional.
yeah, I think they wear burgundy.
There we go.
They were Missouri State was up 12-0 on the super region. I mean, on the regional host Oklahoma State. They end up losing that game 29-15. So Oklahoma State went on a 29-3 run. 17
Basketball.
walks.
Yeah, are we talking about basketball?
Yeah, yeah. No, that's a football score. They got some
They
2-point
went for
conversions.
2 one time.
Yeah.
And they got it.
They got it.
Missouri State walked 17 Oklahoma State batters. They threw 302 pitches, which was 98 more than Oklahoma State.
302.
Yeah,
How many pitchers was that?
I don't even know.
Oh, you should have looked that up.
I can look it up in a minute. And
Just on average.
well, so Missouri State did that with their 17 walks, while Oklahoma State had a relief pitcher throw 6.2 innings to 25 batters. He struck out 16 of them, allowed 3 runs, 1 walk, and 126 pitches in relief.
They call that a starter.
Yeah,
Pitched the whole game.
He took the mound the next day.
That's right.
Yeah.
16 strikeouts over 6.2 innings.
Get these guys some ice for their
Yeah.
shoulders.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah, I was just, and I was scrolling, looking at the LSU and Tech scores, and then I saw Missouri State up 12-0. I'm like, okay. Then they just ended up blowing it, and
Wow.
yeah, crazy stuff. College baseball's a one of a kind. I
That's an
believe.
interesting sport.
Yeah.
Right
That's interesting, especially when it gets to the regionals and
Yeah.
super regionals, man. It's
A lot of emotions.
a lot of emotions.
They only used 6 pitchers.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Whoa!
Man.
So 50 pitches per.
Golly.
Well, one guy threw 16 pitches, never got an out. Gave up 3 runs.
Hey man, but you know, when you're sitting on those teams, those regional teams and stuff, and some of those they beat my LSU Tigers, but Southern Miss. I mean, the kid that for Southern Miss Sunday night, he's only pitched like 12 innings all year. Yeah. And here's the biggest game of the year to save our season. This is those guys got to feel good about their chances and knowing I could still maybe have a big moment here.
Was that the power forward that's like 6'9", 250?
Yes,
was
that
guy?
That was him. Yeah. I mean, he looks like a specimen.
Yeah, that's LeBron James.
Two-sport athlete.
He hasn't been on the y'all been using him on the bench all year. Like, why hasn't he been on the mound?
Yeah, that's LeBron.
Yeah,
6'9", 250.
That's exactly right.
Throwing a fastball. Yeah.
It's cool stories that happen.
But it's a lot of pressure too.
Ooh, what you talking about, man? Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess our big takeaway is that Missouri State does not produce good pitchers.
They need to work on command. Okay?
Maybe they never give up.
Angels general manager that's listening. Yeah.
Perry Manasian.
Yeah. Do not draft from Missouri State.
That's right.
So do y'all want to talk about LSU and Tech's collapses a little bit?
Man.
I don't know if Peyton's ready.
I'm not quite ready for that
more.
just yet. Which, man, I mean, Jay Johnson, it's year one.
Give him time.
He got there in, I guess it was late June last summer. I mean, he transfer portal, he was able to do a little work in, but I mean, he's got the number 1 recruiting class coming in next year.
Yeah.
5 players are Gatorade players of the years in their respected state. Wow. So I mean, he's
bringing the talent.
He's bringing the talent. So just let him have a year or two to get it right. Maneri, he did good for us for, golly, I guess it was about 15, 16 years.
Yeah, close to 20.
And kind of like Madden, the game was kind of passing up Maneri his last few years. And so it wasn't quite like LSU talent-wise going in this year normally is. So I think Jay's going to have him right. It kind of hurt because I really thought that regional was going to be – I wanted them to try to make a run at Omaha in their first year, to help the program. And,
Bill just did some parkour.
He showed us a UFC move.
UFC Bill climbing over the top rope.
But I mean, you got to give it your props to Southern Miss. I mean, they definitely earned that coming out of the losers bracket. They were running out of pitchers and just kept finding guys to perform for them. So that if there's a super regional I like to go to, I would love to be in Hattiesburg this weekend when Ole Miss comes to town.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is going to be rocking.
Little brother hosting Big Brother.
Yes.
Yeah. And Big Brother who wasn't supposed to be there.
That's right.
So they're playing with house money.
Absolutely. That's going to be a fun one to be at, man, for sure. So
and I guess shout out to Southern Miss as their first ever super regional appearance.
That's right.
I mean, Tech
and they're hosting. That's right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is awesome. I want to say that was.
I still hate them, but it's awesome.
Was it first or second host regional? They just.
I mean, they've always been a solid program.
Yeah, but I'm talking about hosting.
Yeah,
I can't remember if it was their first or second.
They might have hosted last year with Tech. I think Tech and them both did.
Yeah,
Southern Miss.
I think they've hosted before.
I think they did last year.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, a regional?
Yeah.
So, but on to Tech. I don't know if anybody.
When I saw Tech's draw, I was pretty happy with it. I mean, I thought we would do well there, and then the Texas game we teched it up.
We teched it up. Yeah,
that's a freaking J-Mar.
That's a saying.
Freaking J-Mar.
Freaking J-Mar. He's played in the USFL, but freaking J-Mar.
Yeah, they managed to do that, and then I don't know what happened in the Air Force game. It was just.
We were on the golf course for that, so luckily we didn't have to sit through that and be depressed for the rest of the day. But shout out to Lane Burroughs. I don't know how much longer he's going to be there. I feel like he's kind of maxed out his.
I was going to ask.
I think he's reached his ceiling at Tech. Honestly,
I think he has to.
And if he leaves, I would.
And with the class he's losing,
I'm about to say there's probably a lot of guys leaving, right?
Yeah. I think this is his first class too that's graduating now. Still Netterville and Young, I can't remember his first name, Taylor or something like that.
Young, yeah.
Who is an absolute
He's a
ball
great
player.
Great player.
He needs to get picked in the later rounds. Hopefully the Braves do it because I can see him being the ball player one day down the road. He's small, undersized. I kind of like that, kind of like Ozzie Albies, a little bit of pop. But I would like to see that happen. But like I said, shout out to Lane. He's going above and beyond for our little small program,
and
30 miles up the road.
I mean, the money will start being.
And deservingly so.
He deserves it.
And if we give him a pay raise and he wants to stay, even better for him. But I think he's maxed out the pool of players he's going to get.
Yeah, I do too.
I think he has reached his
Also,
limits.
man, with this transfer portal now, though, these tech-sized schools,
We're going to need some LSU rejects.
They're going to benefit. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're going to benefit.
And Louisiana's got a lot of baseball talent.
A lot of
I mean,
That's what people
especially
don't
North
realize,
Louisiana.
too.
Yes, absolutely.
Like the West Monroes, Neville's,
Yes.
OCS, that area, Sterlington. Like that
This
produces
is
a
a
lot
hot
of
spot.
Yeah.
I mean, like Ben Sheets' son plays for Sterlington.
Yeah.
You know, that's a former Brave, former
All-star.
Brewer,
And will
former
be
All-Star.
All-Star. Yeah.
You know, Cy Young candidate. I hate it, but I think he's probably gone either this offseason or next offseason. So
And one last, I guess it's a
Where's
little
he
bit
from?
of
he's got
from- I have no
Mississippi.
idea.
I think he has
A lot of
Mississippi
players
ties.
from Mississippi on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
He wasn't he at Southern Miss before he came?
I think he was, yeah.
He might have been.
Where do you see him landing if he leaves?
To be
Some Big
honest with
12
you-
school probably.
To be honest with you, Ole Miss was looking like a pretty good spot for him if he is a Mississippi guy.
That fella's done
But
turned
now
around.
he's done. Yeah, Bianco's done saved his job there. But I know a lot of Ole Miss fans are ready to move on from Bianco because he's been there for, golly, I think 20+ years now.
I mean, it must be pretty bad when his own son goes to LSU instead of Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And then had an opportunity to transfer last year, and he said, "No, I'm gonna stay here,
I'm
Dad."
gonna stay here, pops.
Yeah, that'll make Thanksgiving awkward.
But it did make for a pretty cool picture. LSU had their
Yeah.
senior night when Ole Miss
Just
was
for
there,
him,
so that was
cool.
awesome.
That was
But,
cool.
And speaking of Braves getting Louisiana, I guess, prospects, we picked up Kramer Robinson last week.
Robertson,
Yeah.
LSU
I
legend.
saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
a great college player. Like,
So is he going?
He'll never touch the field for Atlanta. No.
I mean, yeah, it was kind of almost
He
like
just got-
sad news. 'Cause
he just
got
got the
the
call.
Yeah.
He just got the
And
call.
3 days later, maybe.
Only way I see him making it up there is if Dansby Swanson gets hurt or
yeah,
Ozzie
and
Albies.
he won't. I doubt he will this year, but
You never know.
Next year he could be that
And
bench guy.
Dansby's in a contract year. He might want to leave Atlanta. I find it very hard for him to leave Atlanta. But I said the same thing about Freddie Freeman last year.
Yeah.
So you never
And
know.
I think Kramer, he's a guy that to me he seems like he could play short, second, third. He might just be that bench guy that
And he's a solid ball
yeah
player. You don't make
gets
it
a
as far
spot
without being
start
solid.
one or two times a month. You know.
Yeah.
But he was a great college
That
player. I
that
remember.
just shows you
I remember
the
him.
struggle of minor league ball. There.
Yeah.
Kramer's been battling
The
for,
grind.
I don't know. I guess it's been
3 years? 3?
No, it's been more than that. It was
About 5 now. 2016.
16 was the
Was it 16?
The 16
Yeah,
was
it was
a
a long
long
time
time.
ago.
Yeah.
Long ago.
And he finally gets the call, and then you get traded, and you're going right back to, I mean,
Right back down.
golly,
Yep.
that grind there, man, that's tough.
Maybe we can go see him in Pearl.
Hey, we could.
Yeah, if he knows
We
that.
could,
Yeah,
'cause
double A. Yeah.
Gwinnett has a shortstop, so he might be in Pearl. That'd be cool. So transitioning now, you heard UFC Bill right there talking. Now let's get him talking about something that's near and dear to his heart and my heart as well, honestly. This weekend, Saturday, there's UFC 275 happening. I believe it's in Singapore. Is that correct?
Singapore, that's right.
Singapore. So I don't know what time the main card will start.
Oh, yeah, so it'll
they
be different,
they might
right?
have an earlier start time.
Is it like a
you
3
know?
p.m.?
Main card is 9 p.m.
Wow.
So no, it's still gonna be late.
So
night.
what time is that Singapore?
Probably 3 in the morning. I don't know.
The next day. But big time card here. We got 2 title fights and then something I'll look at as a kind of number 1 contender fight with Zhang Weili and Joanna Jędrzejczyk. But the main event here is Glover Teixeira, the UFC legend. 42 years old and just finally reached that mountaintop and won that light heavyweight championship. And he's making his first career title defense at the ripe age of 42, like I said.
Ripe age of 42.
He's facing off against a guy that is making his 3rd career UFC fight.
Really?
And, yeah. And I looked up how to pronounce his name earlier because I have not watched him fight yet, surprisingly. And his name, I believe, is Yuri Prochazka.
Prohaska.
Prohaska? I was
Prohaska.
close. He's
You're
from
close.
the Czech Republic, right?
Yeah, he is. I think he's the only
Czech
UFC
Republic.
fighter from the Czech Republic.
Hey,
Wow.
He can make some waves this Saturday night if he knocks him out. But
Well, I tell you, I've watched several of his fights, and even though he's only had 3 fights in the UFC, he's got a lot of fights.
yeah, he has a career record actually. Yuri does of 28-3 with 25 knockouts.
Wow.
Yes,
Okay.
he's an
And
experienced guy.
yeah, experienced guy. He's only 29 years old too. And like I said, this is his third career UFC fight. But the program or association he fought for before this was in Japan, and Japan always has some pretty solid fighters people do not know about.
Yeah.
And I think it's called Ryzen or something like that.
He's had 25 knockouts though.
25 career knockouts.
Japan. Japan. Aren't they usually more karate?
Yeah, they try to stick.
So maybe
more
he
towards
was just
the
a
actual taekwondo.
He was just a
type
power
stuff.
guy that went over there and just knocked everyone out.
Is that his style, kind of boxing hitter, or?
He seems kind of like a kickboxer from the
a
research
lot of
I've
kicks.
done.
He'll throw a lot of kicks.
Yeah.
I mean, chest kicks, head kicks,
And
of those you mentioned, his 25 knockouts. Well, in all those fights, only 4 times did he get out of the first round.
Really?
really,
Yeah.
so 21 first round,
So
one hitter quitters.
So that's something I'm going to want to watch that fight.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
we'll be
exciting,
watching this.
Is
Yeah,
he
for
favored
sure.
to win his match?
I was just about to say.
I do not know the
he
line.
is.
I did not see. He's
I was
favored.
about to mention that he's a minus
Really?
200. Yeah.
Well, what's
Yeah,
probably
he's
playing
minus
his favor is in both of his UFC fights, he's won via knockout. And his second knockout was actually against a guy that, in my opinion, should have beat John Jones, Dominic Reyes.
Yep.
I thought Dominic Reyes has fought John Jones better than anybody ever has. And I believe he knocked him out with a spinning elbow.
Back spinning elbow. Yep.
Yeah, something you really don't see a lot of.
That is rare.
So this cat might be legit, but hey, Glover's defied odds for so long. I mean, like I said, he won his first belt at 41 years old, I think. And he's coming in on a 6-fight win streak. 4 of those being submissions and one of them being a TKO, but still, all it takes is one lucky punch. Ask Jose Aldo with my boy McGregor,
10 seconds in. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
The big thing I worry about here is Glover has gotten kind of. I think he's reached that peak.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of look at it like Michael Bisping when he
Yes,
stepped in
he finally got there.
and won that middleweight belt, and then his first defense. I think
Was
he
it
was
Luke
so,
Rockhold he lost
Luke
it to?
Rockhold, no, Luke Rockhold's who he knocked out for it.
That's who he beat. Who did he lose it to?
GSP.
GSP, okay.
Yeah, I think he was so excited about reaching that.
He finally got to
mountaintop.
the top of that mountain, and he didn't know how to stay there.
Yeah, and
Or do you just fizzle out? You've done it. You're there.
well, I mean, Bisping. My gosh, I mean, Bisping had 30, 40 fights. So I mean,
He's
same
a
thing
big
here.
vet brawler from the UK, man.
Yeah, I mean, Glover Teixeira's first fight was in 2002.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. So
man.
20-year anniversary coming
Yeah,
up.
20 years.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Fight that long?
He can.
he's been doing it.
And
He's been in the
he's-
UFC
he's-
that longer.
40 fights.
he's
Wow.
fought in the UFC for. I looked that up earlier. It's been a while though.
It's
Like
crazy to
15
see though
years.
that he's the underdog.
Yeah,
Is this his first title defense?
first
Okay.
career
Yeah.
title.
Who did he
defense.
take it from?
Him and Jan Blachowicz.
Peter Yan.
No, Jan
Oh,
Blachowicz.
okay.
Peter Yan's a featherweight.
Oh.
Jan Blachowicz, the guy that beat, they gave Izzy Adesanya his first career fight whenever he tried to take the belt from Jan. Jan kind of embarrassed him, honestly. But, Bill, do you have a prediction for this fight?
Oh, there we go.
Upsets, too. We want to know upsets.
I do.
You do, 'cause I have me one, too.
I really think that Prohaska is going to knock him out.
I
And I would not be surprised if it's a spinning elbow in the second round.
Oh,
I've
okay.
got-
Second round.
This is how I think the fight's going. I think Glover's going to come out. He's going to come out patient because, he's a seasoned vet. But I think Yuri's going to be, like, balls
Aggressive?
to the wall.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be out there. He's going to be pumped up. He's kind of in his time zone, too, over there in Singapore. I think it's closer to it than Brazil for Teixeira. And I think he's going to knock him out in the 4th round. I think Yuri's
Fourth
going to knock
round.
out Glover in the 4th round because I think Glover's jiu-jitsu, is good. He's from Brazil. I mean, you can't be from Brazil and not have good jiu-jitsu.
Right.
I think that's going to kind of slow down Yuri. Then he's going to finally get it.
Is Yuri is he not gonna waste himself in the first couple rounds though? Is he still gonna have
He's
that juice in that
29. He's
fourth?
got to have juice. He's
Is
29.
he still gonna have it?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we know
He's
we
got-
talked about the time difference. Singapore is 13 hours ahead of us right now.
Gosh.
So it's
That'll mess you up.
10:28
So that'd be
a.m. there.
in the AM
So,
for them.
so,
So
so
it'll be
8
about-
a.m. is when they're when it'll be kicking
No,
off.
10 a.m. 10
10
a.m.
a.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the
That's not
drunken
too bad.
Singapore fans at this
Man,
event,
early prelims
Man.
at what, 4
Yeah.
in the morning?
they're going to
Yeah,
pregame early.
That's that's gonna be tough.
gonna
Oh,
be
and one other thing I heard Teixeira say, I was watching some of the UFC countdown shows, and he was, you know how they have all the athletes sign their posters, ahead of time. He signed all his, and he made a comment. He said, he said when I bought my house after my first UFC fight, and I put the posters up everywhere. He said, and I filled all 4 walls of my room up. He said, I only got 2 spots left. And he said, when I fill them up, I'm done.
Wow.
He said, I'd rather do that than to have to buy a new house.
Slight humble brag.
Yeah,
humble
that's
brag.
right.
Yeah.
But Glover, for real, though, he's always seemed like a nice guy and all of his interviews and everything.
He's been one of my favorites as far as Brazilians go.
Yeah.
And
to be as big of a legend as he is, and to have never won a title till about a year ago, that's a heck of a story.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not the biggest UFC guy. I mean, I watch them just for the fun of it, just because most of y'all do, and y'all rent them, and I just I come over. But yeah, Glover's one of the guys.
Free TV.
Absolutely.
Clay likes to watch Chance and UFC Bill.
You gotta
react.
Yeah. Y'all have fun.
We do.
But Glover's one of the guys that I know. He's one of them names that
Kind of like a staple.
you hear UFC.
Him and
he's a name you hear.
Shogun Rua. You
Yeah.
think back to them.
Glover's first fight in the UFC was in May of 2012.
2012, so he's been
Wow.
fighting 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah, he's seasoned.
Good for him.
That's crazy.
Moving on to the, I would call it the co-main event personally, the women's flyweight title fight between Valentina Bullet Shevchenko and some chick I never heard of named Talia Santos. And
Props to Chance on those pronunciations.
Yeah,
there.
he's killing it.
I watch a lot of this stuff, man. Talia Santos, though, I had honestly never heard of her.
I feel like I've watched her fight.
No, you've heard of
haven't?
Thiago Santos, the dude with the big Thor hammer on his chest that should have beat John Jones as well, but he tore his ACL in like round 3 and took him 5 anyway. But yeah, Shevchenko, she's a legend. I mean, she's literally undefeated in the UFC against any chick that she has fought that was not named Amanda Nunes.
Wow.
And we've already established that Amanda Nunes is the GOAT, so. But talk a little bit more about her. She's 22-3, has a career record of 22-3 with 15 finishes. A finish for the average UFC fans out there. A finish is either winning by TKO, KO, or submission. So she's done that in 15 of her 22 wins, and she's actually finished 4 of the last 6 fighters she has fought. So
She's on a roll.
She is on a roll.
Santos, she was, to give you a little background on her, she was one that was discovered in the Tuesday night or Dana White.
The Dana White's looking for a fight thing? Oh, that's
the Contender Series.
The Contender Series, yeah.
She was the Brazilian representative from there.
So this is going to be a big fight for her.
And she's a big, even though she's Brazilian, she, what you think, automatically they're going to be
Jiu-Jitsu, yeah.
She's a big Muay Thai.
Really?
And so is Shevchenko.
Yeah,
So
Shevchenko, she's a
could be
legend.
Well, I mean, that could be a super fight.
That might be a fight because the UFC is just, they're dying for somebody to actually challenge Shevchenko. Because
And-
she's just straight up demolished anybody she's fought besides Amanda Nunes.
And Santos has 19 wins, 13 of those were finishes.
Wow.
I just looked back. I think she was on a card that we bought. She was on the prelims for it, but Volkanovski Ortega and Shevchenko
Absolutely.
Murphy. I think we got this card.
Is
Nick
that
Diaz
Lauren
was
Murphy?
on there as well.
Lauren Murphy.
Yes.
She probably thumped her.
This
didn't
was
she?
September.
Yeah, I know we definitely watched that. But
So that that's
I don't watch the prelims
Yeah,
really.
Rosenstruck was on there too. You see, it's some names that I know.
Yeah,
So we probably had that card.
Was that when Rosenstruck got knocked out in about 20 seconds against Francis Ngannou?
No, this is against Blades.
He probably won that one.
Curtis Blades.
But in her Santos has a 5-1 UFC record, and the only thing that's kind of alarming to me is the fact that out of those 6 fights, she's only finished 1 opponent.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's always that saying, to be the champ, you got to beat the champ, and the judges are going to side with Shevchenko, I'm sure.
So
'cause she's so technical.
She's just
always
going out there and
technical.
just wrestling around for a little bit, knowing I'm going to win.
Yeah,
That's what she's doing.
Not Shevchenko.
She's no Nunez.
Nah, Shevchenko's going to go for it. I mean, she's got one of the coolest tattoos in the fight game. She has a gun in her, on her hip,
I know.
or like right above her waistline on the back. I think that's awesome. Like, she's got that gun in that holster. She's ready to just throw it. But you have
a prediction?
Yeah, you have a prediction?
I do. I think.
Don't you tell me we're going for another
predictions.
upset. Don't you tell me.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Valentina's gonna wipe them
She's
out
just
with
going to
her.
murder. Yeah.
I don't
That's
think.
an uphill battle.
I don't know if it goes. It'll never see championship rounds.
No.
I mean,
No.
If it goes 3, I'll be surprised.
Yeah,
I just think this Santos is just.
Like I said,
way
it's
too
just it's
fresh
been a
in UFC
revolving
for her.
door. It's been a new person for Shevchenko to fight.
Yeah.
And remember, I think we actually watched her last fight, and I think I even said, who is she going to fight next besides Amanda Nunes?
Well,
and they've already
yeah.
done that twice,
And
and
I
they're
was,
not
I
going
was
to do
about
it
to
again.
say it sounds like the same situation we thought Nunez was in, and then what happened?
Juliana
happened,
opinion.
yeah.
But going back to Shevchenko, I got her winning by TKO in the second round.
She's a minus 625 favorite.
Yeah, so don't bet on
Yeah,
her.
huge favorite.
You're not going to win no money.
So do we throw no money at Santos?
do not
No
throw
chance?
money. It's
Okay.
No.
almost a guarantee.
We'll come back to that if
Okay,
she wins.
we'll discuss it next week, I
Could have been
promise.
free money.
And the last fight I want to discuss, because these Singapore and these overseas fight cards honestly are kind of top heavy. Like 2 or 3 really phenomenal fights, and everything else underneath is all local products,
Yes, a lot
especially the prelims and early
It's a
prelims.
big card.
Yeah, it's not
lot
not
of
really
women's fights.
not a lot of, like, I guess you could say quality, but there's a lot of quantity. But I will say this third fight we're going to discuss is probably my favorite fight.
Oh, it's the one I'm.
It's
most
the one
excited
I'm
about.
most excited for.
Yeah.
That is Zhang Weili fighting my personal favorite woman fighter, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Okay, how do you like that pronunciation?
Killing
Oh,
it, man.
you're
What?
killing it.
That is
That's-
precise.
That's
man.
right.
Like I've been a Joanna fan since her and Claudia Gadelha
Oh, yeah.
coached on The Ultimate Fighter.
Ultimate Fighter. That's
And
right.
I've just been a fan ever since then. The swagger she carries, man. But
And I think this division she has owned this division.
She
Joanna
has.
has.
She
She's
has.
owned it. She hit a snag with Weili, obviously. But as far as I remember watching the Ultimate Fighter when they came out with the strawweight, and they got to the end, and of course Joanna wasn't in there, Weili wasn't in there, but who ended up winning was Carla Esparza.
who is
Cookie
now the
Monster.
champion?
She is now the champion.
Yeah.
You know, her first title defense was against Joanna, and Joanna just murdered her.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't have a chance.
There's
against her.
always been kind of like, in my opinion, like a big 3 for the strawweight for the women, and it is Thug Rose Namajunas, Joanna, Zhang Weili, and then you had this next tier of Carla Esparza, Jessica Andrade, and then Claudia Gadelha. And those 3 just could never get over the hump to get to that next level to me.
Yeah.
But talking more about this fight, this is the long-awaited rematch from probably one of the most gruesome-looking things I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, is this
That-
the one with the
hematoma.
head?
The hematoma.
Okay.
Hematoma.
This is the rematch from UFC 248 in 2020, which was
March
actually
7th.
happened a week before the world shut down.
She hasn't
ironically.
fought since COVID.
She has not fought since COVID became a
You
thing.
can look on the screen
Oh,
there.
Yeah.
See the,
We'll upload a photo of this. Joanna, in my opinion, is not an ugly person. But
Oh.
if you were to see this picture, you need to Google Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
No, don't Google it. You can't
Hematoma.
spell that. No one can spell
All
that.
right, well, you
Only
go close.
chance, Scan. All right.
Type in hematoma chick fighter, you'll see
Look
it.
up UFC 248.
Yeah, it was probably the greatest women's fight of all time. People
Oh,
were
yeah,
saying
yeah.
it ended in a split decision, and Weili came out on top.
So
But let me tell
Joanna
you.
was hurt, I guess, huh? That's why she hasn't
Oh,
fought
yeah,
in 2
that's an
years.
issue.
Well, she was in concussion protocol.
Okay, yeah. She cleared it after 2 years.
I'll tell you, I rewatched this fight today,
It's such
That
a good
good, huh?
fight. Oh my gosh!
and
it's
I
so
think
good.
Joanna won it.
Oh,
I honestly do. I think Joanna, she outstruck her. It was something like Weili landed like 169 significant strikes, and
I know they set
Joanna was in the
records.
180s, almost 200. I mean, no, Weili landed a lot more head strikes. It was like 70 to 50 on the head strikes.
And you know, part of the judging is the damage the opposing fighter
Right.
takes.
I mean,
Oh,
if you
and
look at
if you
Quasimodo
see this,
there,
yeah.
you think
Yeah.
she lost this
so
fight.
I got the stats
You
up.
should see the other woman.
She
Joanna
was bleeding from
was
the nose. That's about it.
196 to 170 on strikes, 186 to 165 on significant, 96 and 96 on head. They were tied.
Really?
Jesse, did you feel like Bill? Did you feel like Joanna won?
I cannot personally and fairly judge a Joanna fight the same way I cannot judge a Sugar Sean O'Malley fight or Conor McGregor fight, because those are like my big three, and I'm going to be partial.
For Paige Van Zandt?
Paige sucks. I've never been impressed by her besides her looks. That's about it. But I thought she won the fight as well. And I'm not even going to lie to you. I did not purchase this fight. I had to watch it for free a week later. Had to watch it for free on ESPN Plus.
So, I know a little bit about this. Yeah, Joanna had the strike. She had that on her side. But Weili had 107 control versus 56 seconds. So she had a little bit more on that. And Weili also tried 8 takedowns. And Joanna tried 0.
That's all you got to know.
So,
she was thumping her. She was. And Weili was trying to get away.
But you sometimes them takedown even attempts help you out a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
because you look. Yeah. Another part of the judging is who is trying to progress the fight, who's being the aggressor, and it just always looks good. Especially if you've been rocked a lot, you're going to have to try to take the legs.
She only
out.
succeeded in 1 of the 8 takedowns, so that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, you never in this fight did you see either one of them backing up.
No, they just
not like that.
It was a telephone box, a payphone box. They just
see
kept going.
the Rose Namajunas Carla Esparza fight where
I did not watch
Esparza
that
won.
one.
I mean, the entire match.
Wasn't Rose
was
running the whole time?
Up. She never engaged. I mean, Esparza had to go after her every time, and I think it was like 21 significant strikes. That was all.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
And we're talking about 196 on this one.
Yep.
Yeah, 21 for this 5-round fight. Rose just didn't want to fight. I don't know why, but she didn't want to fight.
So what's the prediction?
But hold on, let me go through some stats. Weili's probably the favorite, and it's going to be because of this. Listen to Joanna's kind of career right here. She has a 16-4 career record, which has a 10-3 UFC record, and but listen to this. She has not been finished since 2017. Her only losses since 2017 have been decisions, and one of which being a very controversial split decision. So, as she has lost 4 of the last 6 fights, but listen to these people she's lost to. Okay, that's why I think she's way better than people really give her credit for. Her 4 losses have come from Zhang Weili, who's one of the top tier people, Valentina Shevchenko we just talked about, because Joanna actually moved up at one point because she kind of got a little bored, and she tried to move it up, and she went to a decision with Shevchenko, and she's lost to Thug Rose twice. And in my opinion, a win right here would get Joanna back on track for a title shot, I think. And talk about Weili, she has a 21-3 career record, 5-2 in the UFC with 17 career finishes. And the fact that she has 17 finishes out of 21 wins, and she couldn't finish Joanna after she has a second head, that's all you got to know about Joanna. She came from Poland, tough upbringing.
And another thing, Joanna's not a finisher.
No,
she goes the distance. I mean, she's only had 5 finishes in 20 fights.
She's not big on knocking people out, but
like
they say her punches they come. They come
finishing it.
Yeah. And here's an interesting stat about them too. Weili is actually coming off of back-to-back losses to Thug Rose as well. So
might be on tilt.
It's kind of crazy that Thug Rose kind of has both of these girls' numbers.
Yeah, I'm scared.
Well, your name's Thug Rose. Yeah. I mean, come on now.
And the thing is, she's not even the champion, and which makes the stat you said earlier about 21 significant strikes in that whole fight making it that much crazier.
Yeah.
The fact that she has knocked out 2 of the best strawweights ever, probably 4 times, or beat them 4 times, and she wouldn't even get in that fight with Esparza. But I think personally,
she finished. Rose finished both of them.
She finished both of them.
She finished both of them. She finished Weili at 118 of the first round, and she finished Joanna at 303 of the first round.
So Rose she's another animal.
I mean, Rose is I think like I said, Joanna has ruled this division, but Rose has.
She's been the queen of it.
Has conquered it.
Yeah,
she conquered it. Yeah.
Well, who are you guys officially picking?
So I think this is gonna live up to the hype. I really do, and I think it's gonna go to a decision again.
Really?
But
no knockouts.
No knockouts. No. But I think this time my girl Joanna's going to win it. And I think it's going to set up a trilogy fight for probably sometime later this year. And that'll turn into a number one contenders fight. What do you think, UFC, Bill?
I kind of agree. I think Joanna's going to win it. Like I said, I thought she won the first fight.
Yeah.
So,
and she's taking some time off, too. So I think that's going to help her out a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she had to wait for the swelling to go down.
Yeah, only 28 months off? Yeah.
I cannot stress how badly everybody listening needs to go and look up this picture.
Unreal.
It's scary.
I just had to Google Thug Rose too because I was just curious.
Yeah,
What is-
Thug Rose.
She looks so calm, don't
Yeah,
she?
I'm
You ever
not
seen
scared of her at all.
Have you ever seen Stranger Things?
No.
You've never seen Stranger Things.
I've
Do you
not.
know who 11 is?
No.
Oh my God, you're here, Peyton.
Well, okay.
She looks like 11 from Stranger Things.
During the Ultimate Fighter, she was just this cute cute girl with long blonde hair.
Yeah, people
And
don't
then-
remember
And
that.
she's like, I'm Thug Rose now.
And now
She
she
freaked
said,
out
"I'm
and
Thug
shaved it."
Rose, shaved that head, won the championship.
Wow.
And
Hey,
hey, talk about Paige Van Zandt. Paige Van Zandt probably needed what's that called? What's that surgery's called?
Plastic surgery?
She needed
Rhinoplasty?
plastic surgery
Rhinoplasty.
for all of her face. Man, she destroyed Paige Van Zandt. And that broke Dana White's heart because, he was just wanting the beautiful woman to be the great fighter, but she just sucked.
of course, now Paige is in the
Bare
doing
knuckle.
bare knuckle boxing
Yeah.
now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she sucks in that
So
as
it's
well.
prediction. What we got?
Speaking of
Joanna,
Dirty
by
Five
decision.
sporting
All
events.
right. So y'all in agreement on all three?
I think we
I
are.
think we were.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Okay.
And really only one upset though.
Yeah, one upset. I would call one upset being Yuri winning, no matter if it's a betting favorite or not. I mean, third career UFC fight being against a legend that's going to be tough. But good discussion, UFC, Bill.
Hey,
That was
I got one more nugget before
Oh.
we go from this. Another fight to keep your eye on. I know there's a lot of no names on this card.
Oh, a ton.
Lots of people out.
It's going to be Jake Matthews.
It's going to be Andre Fialo versus Jake Matthews.
Yep.
Fialo has got some skills.
So does Jake Matthews. He's an up-and-comer, people think.
Well, I think. See, Jake Matthews was on the Ultimate Fighter Canada versus Australia. Not a lot of people.
Not a
saw
lot
that.
of fighters there.
But anyway, you had your Canadians and your Australians
Yeah.
fighting against each other at these different weight classes. He was in there, and he was okay then. But I think Andre's gonna put him away.
All right, so y'all be on the lookout for that. Follow on Twitter, by the way, for UFC content. If you don't feel like shelling out the $65, if you just look up UFC 275 on Twitter, you can follow along and get some videos pretty quickly before them people get banned from Twitter.
Or you could be like Clay and just come watch it with Bill.
Yeah, or just come watch it.
Right.
Chance of UFC Bill.
Yeah.
UFC Bill.
Buffalo Wild Wings shows the fights as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why Rustin needs one.
So yeah, to transition to our next topic. Before we get into golf for a little bit, Oklahoma just won the Women's College World Series.
Yeah, they
They
deserve
that's
10-5.
Yeah,
They didn't run rule actually.
Hey, if
so
you
they played a bad game.
If you bet $100 for Oklahoma to win the College World Series,
Won like $2.
you probably won like a penny. Okay,
Yeah, no
so
doubt.
Yeah, big shout out to those ladies. They earned it.
Who's about to come to the SEC?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Both
man.
teams, Texas
Both
and
teams.
Oklahoma.
Keeps Peyton up at night.
Yes.
So all you LSU softball fans listening to the pod.
Hey, man. Ooh.
So, Peyton, do you want to talk about some golf controversies we've been having lately?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, maybe explain it. to
I'm
people who
excited.
don't know.
Hey,
to
man,
hear about this.
I tell you, I wish I could explain it, really, all of it. So, I guess, Cliff Notes here, the Saudi Arabia decided that they wanted to have their own golf tour.
Yep.
And they first offered Jack Nicklaus to run it all. He wanted to be be the commissioner.
Yep.
Offered him $100 million.
Wow.
He said, "No thanks. I believe in the PGA. I backed PGA Tour up. I'm not
He
taking."
kind of made the PGA.
Yeah, exactly.
I
I'm
am
not
the PGA
I'm not
already.
taking that money. You know where it's coming from. So they called the old shark from the Greg Norman. So kind of a small story there. Back in '94, when Norman was kind of getting out of his prime career, he actually tried to do this back then. He
With the
wanted-
Saudis or
No, not with the
Okay.
Saudis. No.
He was with
He-
the Iraqis.
He was trying to to make a, I think it was like an 8 to 10 World Tour event.
Yeah.
And try to expose the PGA Tour of a lot of the business that he didn't believe that they did right. And it kind of the same concept back in '94. Throw all this money here, guaranteed money, yada yada. Well, PGA Tour come in and just smashed him. You know, didn't
Was he
didn't
blacklisted after that?
he was.
Yeah.
Yes, basically he has been.
Yeah.
And so now he has come back with a lot of backing of money.
A big sack of money.
A big sack of money. He
Old money over
they
there.
gave
It's crazy.
him $500 million to start out just by go getting players who he wanted,
Yeah.
all for guaranteed contracts. So he now has Dustin Johnson at a $125 million contract. He has Phil Mickelson at a $200 million contract. Bryson DeChambeau and Patrick Reed supposedly have signed the Saudi line.
That's
But
what ESPN says.
but they have not confirmed that. Rumors is Ricky Fowler is next on board.
How much did Sergio get?
So we got Sergio.
Sergio, they've not seen the numbers on Sergio.
Sergio just want to change the scenery.
Yeah, especially after a couple weeks ago when he chewed out the rule official.
Did he stop a putt the other day? Is that what he did?
Stop a
A
play?
squirrel.
Did he stop a
the ball.
putt?
Not that I know of.
That wasn't him?
He
I'm thinking about Phil Mickelson. They started showing his old highlights. They thought he
Okay.
putted one that was going to be long. He
Ooh,
stopped.
Phil's taking a beating
Yeah.
from it all too.
Yeah, he really is.
But it's weird because I see where the PGA is coming from, but I don't, because the PGA Tour is sitting there calling these players independent contractors,
Yeah.
but yet they're banning them from coming to play on their tour.
Yeah, it seems kind of authoritarian. to
Yes,
me,
it's
you know.
almost kind of like the old, I'm going to show you I'm
Who
the...
runs the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how they're going to, which, I mean, they came out yesterday saying that they're banned, that they're, you know, from
17
Oh, yeah.
of them.
17 of them.
Yeah, they put them on notice.
And the list wasn't as appealing as the people thought. Now I know when DeChambeau and Reed
It's top heavy.
joined it, yeah.
Yeah,
Now
Peyton
there's
Mitchell's
some
on there.
there's some. Hey, I'll play for 10,000. I mean, we're so they kind of got some up and comers that shot me. Taylor Gooch, Hudson
What a
Swafford.
name.
What a name, right?
He
I mean,
on a lot.
he
He got a lot of fights up there.
That's right. So I mean, they didn't get, and then you get like a Lee Westwood, a Sergio Garcia, Ian Poulter. I don't blame them. They're stuck in no man's land. They're in their mid-40s.
It's
They're
past their prime.
They're past their prime. They can't compete. They're waiting on the Champions Tour. You know, it's like, okay, let's go get this
Let's make some money.
bag of cash,
Guaranteed money.
guaranteed money, and
Yeah.
then go call it a career.
Do
you
something
know?
fun.
So
That's right.
I don't know a ton about golf. You know, I watch a little bit. So what is like the bag you get for winning the Masters? What's the top prize? What
Like
do you
green
get?
jacket.
No, like,
That's all that matters.
There's no money.
you can sell that for a lot.
You can't take home.
No, you cannot take up. You get a
Yeah, you
replica.
can't. You don't get the real one.
No, you have
So
to get
what's the prize money you get? Is there
the prize money?
It's
for
around
the
like 2 or 3
Masters?
million, right?
No, it's actually, let's see, it's
Worth a Google.
2.1, I think. The
Yeah.
players championship actually is the most at 2.7.
So the top major
The most
in
famous
PGA that you're battling everyone in the world for
right.
2.7
gives
million
gives
this year.
2.7,
Yeah,
The
and
most
then
competition.
people just got hundreds of millions to go join.
that's
the
right.
Yeah, you don't have to
That's
win.
insane.
I mean,
You don't have to
guaranteed
win.
money.
And,
Tiger was offered $1 billion.
$1 billion.
$1 billion.
Billion with a
And-
B
$1
as
billion.
in ball.
And there's no cuts, so you're guaranteed making.
You're gonna play all 4
money.
days.
It's
Yeah.
3 days.
Three
Yeah,
days.
three
Three
days.
days. 54 holes.
So it's 54 holes. It's Friday through
Really?
Sunday, and it's team formats. They're going to be out there in jerseys, basically. They're going to be all same
I
shirts.
saw that today.
Right, but-
Are they gonna drive
Format,
carts?
yes.
Are they gonna have carts?
I know, well, I mean,
That
no
would be
carts.
cool.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't understand the stigmatism.
Other than
of
John
that.
Daly, if he wants
Can't-
to.
Why isn't he on there? We want to see that.
To be honest with you, I'm shocked he didn't. I mean,
Him
really,
and
I
like
mean,
VJ
John's
Singh.
always after some money grab. Like, I really thought that he would have made that. But yeah, their team formats is 4-man teams.
That's crazy.
And it's just weird how the whole.
Did you
Kinda
see
like
the? Did you see it
XFL
today?
of-
Yes.
Yes,
of golf,
it is.
right?
The original X.
So supposedly,
Yeah, the original.
too, is their
He hates
this
me.
year and next year are kind of the preliminaries. This and then And 2024 is when they want to bump up the events up to like 16 a year.
And
They're doing 8 a year this
and they're
year,
heavy.
8 next year.
It's worldwide.
Worldwide. That's
Yeah.
right. They're playing all over. Playing in
Well,
London.
the
The
London
first
is
is
the
in
first
London.
one.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's right.
And interesting, the total purse for the London tournament is $20 million, and
$20 million.
the total for the Masters this year was 15. So
Right.
I mean, they're already.
That total 15 being what's
And you're
distributed
talking
amongst
a
everybody.
48-man field for this
Yeah.
this weekend.
Yes, you got good odds of winning.
And you're not making there's no cuts compared to a Masters field.
So what-
it's-
so
You're looking at
Last
worst
place-
case scenario getting $500,000.
You're not playing the
Just for going to
biggest
play
competition.
you're
54 holes
already
of golf.
guaranteed
On top of your
in
money
the
that you
contract they're
signed.
getting you.
If I signed up, I would get at least $500,000 just if I
Yeah.
finished the tournament.
Well, and
No
another
matter how many
thing
balls I
too,
lose.
that intrigued the players, but caddies, all your expenses are paid for a caddy. You get
You don't have to split
no
your
travel
no longer a
fees, no
contract
hotel.
laborer.
Yeah,
You get some benefits.
You get benefits on top of what your player wins
Yeah.
off that.
So what
too.
you're saying is they're coming hard at
They're
the
coming
PGA.
hard at the
time.
PGA.
Well-
and I think the PGA, if they don't swing pretty soon,
This is awesome.
That's all I was about to say.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Competition's good.
Good
Yes,
for them.
it
This
is.
is this
Yeah.
is going to make the PGA
they
better.
haven't had it.
We're missing the
Exactly.
biggest name. Louis Oosthuizen's on it.
Oh, Louis!
Really?
I love him.
Hey,
Hey, it's
one of
closer
the
to
best
home,
golf
so-
swings in the world.
What's
I
up,
love
man?
his name.
Who is the
Like-
best golfer they got? I hate to
Dustin
cut you
Johnson.
off.
Dustin
Yeah.
Johnson.
DJ.
He just won the Masters
Yeah.
last year.
Which I mean,
He's
DJ
married to Wayne Gretzky's
That's
daughter.
right.
I mean, he's
Oh, it's
Paul-
not
Paulina.
Taylor,
he's
Taylor
the guy.
Gooch is not.
Taylor-
hey, but
That's his
Paul,
nickname.
the gooch.
yeah, I'm
He
sure
don't need a nickname.
Paulina was pushing old DJ to that 125 million.
She don't need
I mean,
money.
he,
She's like
he
a
just,
model.
I mean, he just signed a $125 million contract, and Tiger's career earnings is 121
Yep.
million
Yeah,
dollars.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
You
this
think
is
about that.
game-changing money.
And
I mean,
good,
yes.
good, and I'm kind of looking at it both ways. Good for the guys that said I'm gonna go make that money, but I'm kind of liking the guys as well that said screw the money. I respect the game.
well,
Yeah.
that's
kinda
what I
like
love.
that.
Because
I like
also,
that. Like Jack Nicklaus, he could have just got so much money for
Tiger.
his kids.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
well, I mean,
Same time, they've been to the top of the mountain, though.
right. I mean, but at some point, you have to think these tournaments on the PGA Tour hold something in history.
Yeah.
Exactly.
These events are not. I mean, there's nothing
Yeah.
to that.
They're playing at local country
And
clubs.
so look, they're going to get to play in majors this year,
Yeah.
but next year it's still up in the air.
Does
They
anybody know
don't
what LIV means, by the way?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
okay.
Interesting little bit of
'Cause
trivia.
I thought it was Super Bowl LIV. That's what
Yeah.
I'm going with.
Well,
Was
you
it
know, that
54?
everybody was calling it the Saudi Golf League, but
Yeah.
LIV is actually Roman numerals for 54, the number of holes that they'll play.
Well,
Oh.
that's cool.
I didn't know that.
So it was a Roman numeral.
So,
So it's not what we
yeah.
thought it would be.
It is like the Super Bowl, yeah.
I found the team names. It's
God.
it's
Is it like the-
Please read these because these are
it's
awesome.
like Mario. It's
Yes.
like Mario.
The Savannah
Yes.
Bananas.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they have their own logos.
Yes.
for each one.
Hockey Savannah Bananas, by the way. Would that work? I'm just kidding.
That's the Mud Bugs.
Call up Soupy. Let him figure it out.
So we have the four aces, which is led by Dustin Johnson. I'm gonna mispronounce some of these. Niblix. Don't know what that means.
Did they come up with their own name?
I think so, maybe. Majestics, Ironheads,
They're all
Stinger,
golf related.
Cleeks, Crushers, HY Flyers, Fireballs.
Wow.
That's straight out of Mario.
Is it
They're going to take a shot at Fireball every hole.
Is it going to be a city related though? Like, is a city going to have a team to root for, or is it just individual
It's
teams?
individual teams.
The
Is
Smash.
there going to be a draft?
And it's a
Does-
different.
if you're going to have
Yes.
team format, don't you need to have a
They
draft?
picked them. They picked them
But, okay.
last night.
Okay.
They had this formal dining, and they each team sat with each other.
They
and-
met the Saudi Arabians. They're going to be paying.
They shook their hands hard.
Yeah.
And then
Kiss the
torque
rings.
and punch.
I don't have
Those
a
are the-
family, I swear.
It's Mario.
Yeah,
It's
and it's interesting.
That's a little cheesy, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
No,
It
it
is.
is.
Very-
I don't get it, but
especially the
are
Fireballs.
they going to play a scramble? Or are they going to play their own ball?
See, that's some of the.
And then look, we got
That would be
logos.
really interesting, right? A scramble.
Yeah, like it's a professional scramble league. That'd be awesome.
That would be fun to watch.
You know, like
The
have like an
logos, I
all-star
mean-
game. They should
I
have.
gotta
We
get a
need to
hat.
call up the LIV. Yeah, we need to call up the LIV. They need to have an all-star game. They might as well if they're doing this garbage. You know, the teams and
Yeah.
stuff. Have a scramble with the
But,
best
I mean,
players.
But Greg Norman he has been very advocate to get this rolling. He has a hatred for the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
And
He's done it. I mean,
and he's got a backing now that I don't. It's going to be PGA Tour
endless
better,
money.
better make because the only thing that's going to help the PGA Tour is if these majors don't allow the LIV guys in. That's going to be a game changer because then these guys, they're playing for money, but as much money as they like,
They still have pride.
Those majors, man, are where it's at.
Is there any way we can watch this?
On YouTube?
Yeah.
YouTube is your only option.
First
right
round
now.
is today.
Really?
So that will be YouTube.
I wonder if this would be in the ESPN app to keep up with.
I
would bet not.
I don't feel good about it. I don't. I'm sure they will get a TV contract. I'm kind of interested to see what the competitors are.
This is
because I haven't
cool.
seen any of them, and I'm ready to see.
I like it. I
This
like
is
the
cool.
idea.
It's
of
different.
It.
It's fresh.
It's fresh.
I
right.
respect both sides of it.
It's not my money, so
It's made mainstream
like Railey
news.
said, it's somebody always needs a competitor. You need something to keep you on your toes. The PGA is that.
And I mean,
European Tour is not, or the DP World Tour.
all
is
this
not.
stuff has come out like recently. During one of the better finals we've had, NBA finals we've had in a few years, and it's become main news.
Oh, absolutely.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
if anything, this is going to do tremendous things for the game of golf.
It is. It really is.
and-
It will help grow the game. I mean, I hate it personally because I love watching the PGA Tour, knowing you have all the best players in the world at every tournament.
But that's not going anywhere.
And
really.
No. And I wonder if some of these guys will come back after the contract's up.
I want to see, and if their PGA Tour is trying to hold the ground now. You tell me Dustin Johnson says after a couple of years, guys, I want to come back. They're
I
going
want
to
to win the
no.
Masters.
Yeah.
They're
I
going
mean,
to
he'll be still dead in his prime at that
But
time.
one of my, speaking of Dirty Five sporting events, one of my favorite ones is the Ryder Cup. And are these guys going to be eligible for the Ryder Cup? It's Dustin
I think
Johnson.
they said no, didn't they?
Yeah.
But he was like going to
But-
be the captain or
But
something.
Dustin Johnson's hope, well, I mean,
You wanna
Greg
read some of these
McDowell,
names?
Ian Poulter, Sergio Garcia, those are all European guys.
Yeah.
And they're European Ryder Cup legends. I mean,
Yeah.
they're going to be captains and players, and they're not going to be able to be that anymore. So,
So everybody take your team now. I'm Team Stinger with Louis.
I'm with the Ironheads, man.
Are there any like cheese puffs or anything like that?
I mean, you got the fireballs.
hey, that sounds like a
That's
rally
a-
team
I'll
there
take
to
the
be.
divots.
Okay,
Divots.
I'm hoping that maybe
Four.
there'll be an expansion team and they can be the Dirty Boots.
Hey! Look at that.
Hey.
Look at that.
Hey, Shark, call us, bud. We can hook you up, man.
That's right.
Before we move on to our Dirty Five, I want to say that Peyton really underplayed his knowledge of this LIV Golf Tour.
Yeah.
Before we started recording, he said, guys, I don't know a whole lot, but I know a little bit.
he might be a
he
co-owner.
lied. Yeah, he knows where Greg Norman's bodies are buried right now or something.
Greg might want him to play in it.
He might know something.
He's
we
in
don't know.
negotiations
Just
as we speak.
10,000, Greg. I'm not being stingy here, but
I'd play for $5.
I'll be a golf cart driver.
Hey.
Ray's gonna be mechanic.
Just fly me out now.
But in all seriousness, that was really, really informative.
It's
That really
this
was.
is
I learned a
awesome.
lot.
I'll
You
say
can't get this anywhere else.
Without reading.
That
a
was
lot.
really good,
Who
Peyton.
wants to do that?
So, moving on to our final segment, we're gonna have another Dirty Five,
Our
and
bread and butter.
Dirty
it's
Five.
gonna become our bread and butter. I feel like as well. And Clay, did you come with this Dirty Five? Who came with this Dirty Five? Was it Peyton?
It's a group effort.
Yeah.
I kind of started the birthing.
Yeah,
of it, I guess.
That's
and
right.
Then,
That's right.
and then
The
you were
spitball.
like the whatever they call it, the what's that
The
mother
blister,
thing?
the person who shows up when the work's done.
Yeah, he came in there to sign the chart and weigh the baby.
He was studying up his LIV golf tour.
Yeah.
That sounds important. Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah.
So I had talked about doing like best sports to watch on TV, but then Peyton took it to another level. So our Dirty Five for this episode is going to be the best sporting events. So we're going to be kind of specific with it.
To
but
watch
not-
on TV.
To watch on
be
TV,
clear.
I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Steve.
I
Is
mean-
that going to be okay with your number one pick?
Because
Clay? Undoubtedly, it's really
Because
good.
I think if you do in person, that's going to be
That's a
that
game
It's going to
that's a game
change it,
changer.
yeah.
yeah.
And which, if we're being honest, most of these events we're picking, we probably won't ever have the opportunity to go to.
Oh, true.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
true. That is
I mean,
true.
That's a
Super
different
Bowl
podcast.
money, stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, but and we'll do top sports by itself one day. We'll do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, Railey, you mentioned what was it? The dream sport.
Dream sports vacation.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yes.
Or the Dirty Five of sports you think you can go pro in.
Yes,
Yeah.
that'd be
I'm really excited for that.
Bill's going UFC.
Yeah.
Oh,
After the
jiu-jitsu.
move we just saw a minute ago, he's already stretched out. He's good.
No doubt.
So, who wants to start us off?
I've
Going
kicked off
up?
the past two, so someone else.
Hey.
Peyton, let's go.
Oh,
Hey,
no.
going,
Okay.
going from
So
5
we're going
to 1.
5 to 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
your least, I guess you say least favorite
Do we
of the
wanna-
5 to your most favorite.
What do we want? Do we want to give explanations mid
Let's
draft?
just roll with them, and I think
Everybody
we'll
give
work
out
it
their-
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Kind of like we did last time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
So
That'll
go
work.
for it, Peyton.
All right. So my number 5 would be the NBA playoffs.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I like it.
My number 4 would be the Ryder Cup,
All right.
which I really
I
want to
respect
hire
it.
because I love the Ryder Cup.
Are there
No.
more golf on this list?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I know it's number 1.
Yeah, the number 1. Yeah. The number 3 would be NFL playoffs.
Okay.
I really, we talked about Super Bowl or NFL playoffs if we're separating.
So you're
them.
putting it together,
I'm just putting them together.
All right, all right.
Because
I'm
I mean,
fine
I
with
think
that.
the NBA playoffs and the NBA finals
and
are
it can
one.
be different each person. You know,
Yes.
some people might prefer the Super Bowl as opposed to the entire playoffs.
That's right.
Stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Number 2 is March Madness, man.
Absolutely.
I can't wait for it. I miss the days when I was in college where I just skipped class on Thursdays
with
and
nothing
Fridays
else to
and,
do.
and had TV
That,
screens.
them
and
first 2
computer
days
screens,
are
man.
just heaven.
You just
It's
had
heaven.
them on all over. And then my number 1 is I wish I had the theme music right now for it. The Masters
With the birds chirping.
on
Yes.
CBS.
Which you start hearing the commercials about March Madness.
Dude, that's right.
You know?
That's exactly
Yes.
right, man.
You hear the first Masters commercial
During
during
March Madness.
March Madness.
Oh, man, it just
Yeah.
it's chill. Oh man. So
I
that
don't
would be
think you
my
can go
5.
wrong with any of your.
No, those
of
are
your
great
list.
picks. Great
those,
picks.
Those are
UFC
awesome
Bill?
picks.
All right. Strangely enough, I don't have UFC in my list.
Well, it's hard. It's
Shame
hard
on
to.
Bill.
It's hard to go there.
UFC
when
Bill,
they're-
we might
Yeah.
change your name.
You're supposed to be the Masters, Bill.
Live Bill.
Do it.
All right. Yeah. So I have March Madness
Okay.
on my list too.
At number 5.
At number 5,
Okay.
the Olympics, and I would say
Which one?
Whoa.
summer or
Yeah.
winter, because
Either.
I've got
Paint with a broad
great
brush.
memories of Olympics in both, in both summer and winter. I mean, I personally, with my own eyes on TV, watched Miracle on Ice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, and
And if
you
you haven't
told
seen
me.
the movie Miracle, which I heard some of you
Hey.
have,
That's
Oh.
right. Yeah, UFC Bill's kind of our elder statesman in here, so he might be talking about WrestleMania 1 in a minute.
I have the
Think about
T-shirt.
WrestleMania.
Andre the Giant.
I have the T-shirt.
In which you've told me stories about when the Olympics were here and you had tickets and everything. You
In
know?
'96, yeah, they had a lottery system for the tickets, and of course that was the second Dream Team
Yeah.
that was put together. So we were all trying to get Dream Team tickets. I ended up only getting baseball tickets,
Yeah,
the
you told me
U.S.
about
versus Cuba, and I sold them to somebody.
Mm.
And it's a good thing because then there was a bomb.
Yeah, hey,
Yeah.
Hey,
Shout out Richard Jewell.
I'm
Richard
not
Jewell.
glad- I'm not
he's a hero,
sad
people.
that I
He's a
didn't go.
hero.
But I've always liked the Olympics.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
must-see
remember
TV.
I even watched Caitlyn Jenner win the decathlon. in
Okay.
1976.
He did. Let's move on to the next
Yeah,
topic.
Number 3, FIFA World Cup.
Okay.
Which one?
Nice.
Men's or women's?
Men's.
Men's, okay.
Well, I get into both of them, but I mean,
Well, U.S. only good in one. So.
Yeah, that's
I mean, if we have a good, was it in 2002 when the U.S. made a pretty good run? I think maybe
Yeah.
the quarters. Germany ended up winning that year, but man, it's just for weeks there. You've got. I mean, it's pretty intense.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Especially if U.S. gets beat out, then like last
You
time
pick another
Mexico,
team. Yeah.
we jumped on Mexico. So
I have a story. I'll get to that.
Are you a North America, South America kind of stick over here? Stick with the Americas? Or?
Canada doesn't make
That's why he
it.
loves MMA. You know, he gets the South America.
Speaking of watching a match at 10 in the morning, man, FIFA was good for it.
Oh, 10 in the morning.
Earlier than that.
This
And the Olympics.
past Women's World Cup, I had to wake up at 3 a.m. to watch US.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or was that was the Olympics? No, it was World Cup. Yeah.
Yeah.
It happened at the same time as the Women's Olympics.
That was a good thing in 2016
Wait, no,
when
it
it
might
was
have been
in
Olympics.
when it was
It
in
was one of the-
Brazil. You know, it was
Central time
in our
zone.
time
Yeah.
zone, so
Yep.
we were.
I think
all
it was
good.
Olympics. We blew it anyway, so I don't want to talk
Yeah,
about
we're
that.
not talking about that.
So my number 2 and number 1, I have a hard time deciding between the two because both the Super Bowl and the World Series for me are just like
Yeah.
you know the
America.
the ultimate
Mount Everest.
climax
Yeah.
of the sports season.
Yeah.
So and I've had
Got to
you know,
pick one.
Yeah, if you had to just sit here and bang your trash can, you know, and just pick which
Yeah.
which one would it be?
Yeah.
Well, it seems like the
He's
Super
signaling his
Bowl
pick.
we've had. My team hadn't been to the Super Bowl but once, you know, so I could really
Yeah.
pull for my team. So that seems like it's been more of a
Greatest year ever.
you know,
Yeah.
but you know, World Series. I don't know. I won't say old hat, but you know, we've been to a few of those. So
Well, did
So
they
probably as
win
far
this
as
past
the-
year?
I don't think they did.
Oh,
I
who'd they
can-
lose
I can-
to?
You're cutting out,
Oh.
Clay.
Meanwhile, we're all in the same room.
But yeah, I would probably go World Series and Super Bowl number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I respect that.
That's respectable.
you can't go wrong with that list.
Yeah.
And of course, I would include, you know, I would say playoffs too, not just
Yeah,
necessarily the
yeah,
Super Bowl.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
So that's me.
So my list is gonna be kind of surprising, I think, because I do not have the World Series on my list.
Wow.
I do not have the World Series on my list because I'm not gonna watch a whole baseball game unless I'm emotionally invested into the team, and my team has only made it there once in my lifetime. So if I could draft this as being the World Series
I respect
involving
that.
the Braves,
Yeah.
it would be number 1 on my list.
You know, that was a big
You
thing
know,
into my list. Is
College
doing
World
that.
Omaha would be on my
Exactly.
list if LSU was there.
Exactly.
Every year.
If I
If
could
they're not
draft
in it, I'm
this-
not invested.
If I could draft it based off of something that specific, it'd be number 1 every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Good point.
so don't hate me for not having that on there. But with my actual top 5, number 5 is kind of like a borderline pick, kind of like that as well. For number 5, I have Conor McGregor main event fights.
Man,
Nothing gets me like nervous, and I'm not gonna lie, a little bit nauseated, like awaiting to hear that little what country is he from? Irish girl singing that song when he makes that walk to the
Sinead
octagon.
O'Connor.
Well, then he does some biggie.
I'm not even.
And then he hits the notorious,
Yeah.
the beat drops.
Yeah.
You know,
Goosebumps.
nothing gets me like that.
I'm not even a UFC guy, but when I know he's fighting,
Yeah.
I'm glued to
Yeah,
TV.
and I'm not gonna lie, that's how I became a UFC fan. Whenever he fought Jose Aldo
Yeah.
that first time, I was listening to ESPN radio, and SVP and Rosillo had him on there, and he sold it to me,
What an
man.
awesome radio show.
And since that day, I've been UFC junior chance, I guess you can call me. So, yeah, Conor McGregor main events, that's very near and dear to my heart. And then number 4, I have the final round of the Masters.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Great.
Number 4. And then
That
number
whole
3.
weekend. That whole weekend.
Yes,
It's a
it had to be
weekend of
Saturday
that.
and Sunday.
Yes.
Thursday and Friday's tough because I'm teaching, you know. But
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's nothing better than Sunday.
I have it on.
That story. I have it on.
I
the
have it
computer,
on.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I have it on at my desk. But number 3, I have the Women's World Cup. Love watching the U.S. women's team play. They
Yes.
it's a beautiful sight to watch. Not because of the women or anything like that
No, of
necessarily.
course not.
Hey, Alex
But
Morgan.
their style of
Alex
soccer
Morgan.
is awesome, man. And then, like Clay said, they're always successful, so that helps. Number 2, I have March Madness. That's something I make my kids at school watch. I'm not going to lie. I have it on the TV.
Educational.
It's
Yeah,
educational.
Educational.
It's talking
absolutely.
about win percentage, man. I can tie it in
that's
there
right.
every year.
No doubt. Yeah.
And
to
then
win.
then
You're
number
teaching
1.
the future universities they might need
Exactly.
to go to. That's
Exactly.
right.
And
Absolutely.
number 1, number 2, if my team's not in, I'm still going to watch it. Number 1, I have the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch the Super Bowl every year, no matter if the
man.
Saints
Who
are in it or
is?
not.
Gonna have a party,
I'm going to
like-
watch it.
Yes.
I'm going to sit there.
We're
We're
gonna
going to
make
fry
wings.
up wings like we do every year.
Yep.
And that's just what it's going to be. But real quick before we move on to Railey, I want to talk about a couple more.
Well, we can hit
Olympic.
them, let's hit them later.
All right. If we can include events that you can attend, I do not think there's many things better than high school football playoffs.
Yeah.
I saw some of the best football in my life in high school football.
This
playoff
past
games,
year with
so-
Jonesboro,
that run they made.
one of the most special
Let me
times
say
of my
something
life.
here. We're going on to Ray here at number 4, and nobody has mentioned college football yet.
No.
What are some near misses?
But
Yeah.
but I mean, I'm just like
And I think that goes into the team thing
but
as well.
but I think I mean I
2019,
it was
I
almost,
loved it.
That's right, and it was almost 6 though. But I think also it's just because the blowouts. I think a lot of them
and
just,
and the lack of variety. Like
It's
it's,
lack of
always
variety.
I'm
the
not
same
watching
games.
Alabama
and
next
Clemson
year. Like,
again. That's right.
Well,
Who
I
cares?
think some of it
In
said
Ohio
Rose Bowl.
State.
And I don't
Exactly.
particularly like the fact that we've got somebody voting on who to put in our playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, and
Right.
if you don't impress this committee,
Expand.
you're not going to be the champion.
I agree.
Need to
Expand.
Expand.
please.
There's got to be a clear path.
We're going to have
it. There's
blowouts
not.
regardless. Let's get a couple more games, build the excitement, give this the potential for an upset.
I'm
maybe.
all for expansion. I just don't want to get crazy with it.
Yeah. I think
No,
8.
No,
Go
8.
8.
8 to
Well,
10
do
is
8 for a
perfect.
little
7's
while.
what I want.
Do 8 for a little while.
Give
Seven's
them one a
maybe
bye.
give them one a bye, so you make them earn that. They deserve something at the end of the year. Give
That
them
could
a
work,
bye.
yeah.
However many it would take to give all the Power 5
You get 5
automatic
and 2 wild
bids.
cards.
That-
I
can-
want 2
That
wild
can be a
cards.
podcast for
Oh,
us.
absolutely. I go on that forever. Yes.
We can talk about that. Come on.
All right,
Yeah,
Railey.
sure.
So yeah, Railey, let's go.
Yeah, so kind of we've talked about the Masters so much, and of course it's number 5 for me. It encapsulates springtime. I'm not even a big
Yes,
golfer,
That's right.
but the beauty of it,
Yes.
you cannot turn it off,
Yeah.
man.
Azaleas,
We're
man.
coming out of winter. You're itching for that sunshine.
Yeah.
You're itching for that that
The flowers.
The beautiful
Yes.
day.
Even though it
Yeah.
rains in Louisiana every year during the Masters.
and you're inside watching it, but you feel like you're outside.
It's the prettiest grounds I've ever walked.
And
on.
It
it's
really
it's
is.
awesome whenever
I've
it
gone
hits
to
on
once,
Easter.
and it's
Yeah.
That feels right too. Whenever it's on that Easter weekend.
Yes.
Like,
It's
It
magical.
Yes, that's right.
Number 4, I'm gonna go kind of vague to us to some point, but there's nothing better than a snow game in football.
oh, I like
I like that.
That's an event.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's an
right.
event.
I
It's
like
a
it.
rare event. It's an event you're not even prepared for
Yeah.
going into the week.
Lambo.
You turn on the TV. Lambo's got a bunch. Bill was at the ice ball, wasn't he? No, I'm just picking Bill.
You were at one in Independence, right?
Oh, yeah, the Independence Bowl, we're at
Well,
snow.
I'm thinking like 2013 Lions-Eagles game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Just
The
blanketed
snow's
in
this
snow.
Yeah, well,
Watched it at Fox's
Yeah,
house.
two great franchises right there.
Watched it on the red zone that day.
He's throwing in logs in the fire, man. The more it snows, he's just feeding that fire, and it's 900 degrees in his house. Those are magical days.
That
man.
is, no doubt.
Shut
And
up, Fox.
The Raiders, Patriots, the Tuck.
Tuck,
yeah.
Yeah.
One of the most
Yeah.
important games in
That might be
honestly
one of the most
NFL
famous
history.
snow games ever.
Yeah.
I
It
loved
probably
it
is.
when Vinatieri was lining up for the kick,
And
the
they're shoveling
linemen
it.
were over there moving the snow with their
I
feet.
feel like snow games are always on
scraping it up.
Fox.
That's a true
Is that
statement. Yeah,
let's look up the percentages of that.
Yeah.
Let's get some stats.
no doubt. That's a good one there, Ray.
I like that.
Yeah.
Moving on to number 3, I'm going to go a little different than you guys, and I'm going to say opening day. Opening
Okay.
day is magical.
It is.
No, for me, it's opening
Yeah.
day in football, preferably the NFL. But I know you guys have to feel the same way I do on baseball.
Wow, you almost make me want to change my list.
I
Yeah,
wish I could
right?
add that on there.
You're out of that for so long, and you've missed it for so long, and you're not sure if it's coming back, or maybe it is. You're not sure, and you finally get there.
There's nothing better than
That's
that
how-
first Sunday of NFL football.
No, you
when
clear
you're
off your
sitting
schedule.
you're sitting at the house watching that red zone for 7 hours.
Yes,
Or no,
that's
you're
right.
at church anxiously awaiting, thinking
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh,
Man.
whenever I leave here.
Brother Randy has to wrap this up.
Yeah. What are you doing, Randy? But no, like for real though,
12:05.
God's about to bless me this afternoon.
I feel that way.
Then you
over that
lose.
weekend for college football.
There you go.
get
Yeah.
the Friday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday.
Everybody's
Yeah.
playing.
Now it's Sunday night, and Monday night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
opening day high school. It's great.
Yes.
Anything.
It's
Yeah.
great. You're back in
the
the stadium.
jamborees.
Jam at the Joe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Jones was
Jam
playing at
for
1
sure.
o'clock in 98-degree weather.
Yeah, they get no love for the weather in their
No,
games.
they're gonna melt some cleats. That happened
Yeah.
whenever I played there.
Yeah,
It
that heat
sucks.
radiates from the turf.
It does.
Your feet will be.
It'll
sore.
be at least 130 on that turf.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's maybe
God, I'm
another topic.
about to pass out thinking about that again.
it's a great one there. too,
PTSD.
Ray. I like
Great
that.
pick.
Yeah. That was number 3, right?
Yes.
I'm just a football guy, so obviously championship weekend in the NFL is great. That was another big weekend for me. And I'll wrap it up by saying the Super Bowl. What can I say about the Super Bowl that we haven't already said?
Yes.
It's magical. Way better when the Saints are in it, obviously.
But you're still gonna watch it.
Man, great memories.
It's like a
watching it
holiday,
with your
man.
dad, watching it at church.
The next day,
Yeah.
that Monday should be a holiday.
Absolutely.
That should be a holiday.
So you
That's
got
a
has that
holiday.
4 footballs?
Yeah, pretty
There we
football
go.
heavy there.
But all those you listed are perfect.
Well, thanks, man.
Like especially the opening Sunday. That's
So
just
Super Bowl number 1.
Yeah, Super Bowl's
What was number 2?
championship
AFC,
weekend.
NFC championship.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
It's
a fun
especially
afternoon.
this past
Yes.
year,
That's a
man.
fun afternoon.
This past year was great.
Yeah.
All right, so I've
Wait for number
I did
1.
not get the Masters. I was very close to it.
Oh,
That surprises.
Yeah, and one that I really wanted to get on there too was Duke versus North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good, solid pick there.
Especially with me being Carolina, Chance being Duke, that it's an event literally,
It is an event,
and
in
we've watched
our
it
house,
together the past 13 years.
at least.
Yeah.
It's a tradition.
It's
Yeah.
a tradition.
It's been going on forever.
Every Wednesday and every Saturday.
Yep.
First game's always on a Wednesday. The second game's on a Saturday every year.
And then every now and then we get that third one, or the
The Final Four.
Final Four, Coach K's last game. Yeah.
Did y'all win a championship this year? Oh, you did. So it doesn't matter.
Did Coach K
doesn't
win his last
matter.
game at Cameron?
It doesn't
Did
matter.
Coach K
He
win
won
his last game
1,000
coaching?
more.
Moving on.
He won
All right.
1,000 more.
Do we think the Duke North Carolina rivalry is going to be the same with K going now?
No, it
I
will
I don't
not
know.
be the same.
I think
I think it will.
I
I
don't
think
know
it'll
if
be just as
hope
good.
it is.
I think because
You got
the
two
guys that are
former
leading it.
players.
Yeah, the guys that are
And
leading
that
it.
was the most important thing to me when I found out Kay was retiring.
'Cause
I immediately wanted Shai.
I didn't think it was going to be that good this year without Roy.
I
I mean,
immediately
Roy's a
wanted
big
Shai.
part of it.
But these two guys,
Yeah.
Shire specifically, I don't know about Hubert Davis.
He
as
did a
much.
great job.
Shire loves Duke.
Oh,
He
Hubert
cares
does,
about
yeah.
Duke. And I think Hubert does too. And that's another topic.
This year's going to be a
for
great
another
year for us.
day. I think that's very important
Yeah.
to them. So
All right, so number 5, NBA playoffs. I look at that, even though I've gotten a lot of luck with the Warriors the past 8 years, but even during the bubble when we were not in the thing, I watched it all. I rooted for the Heat. I don't know why, and that's a time when I've become big fans of other players, and like during the bubble, Donovan
Murray.
Mitchell, Jamal Murray, like it's just a lot of guys that it's incredibly talented
Jimmy
players.
Butler.
Yeah. I mean,
finally got the recognition he deserves.
yeah. So 5 NBA playoffs, 4 World Cup, men or women, I don't care. I probably prefer women a little bit more because of US.
Unless
But-
Belgium's doing well.
I was about to say men. I became a big Belgium fan. I don't know why. Yeah. Shout out Lukaku. Yeah.
The Renaissance people here.
Yeah.
We'll let Clay have his own pod on that one.
Hey, World Cup this fall. I'm ready.
Yes, we are.
USA versus England on Black Friday. That's going to be a magical event.
Yeah, that would be.
Super Bowl number 3. Can't beat it.
Wow.
Yeah. March Madness number 2. It's special to me.
Slow for Super Bowl. He stepped past that. He didn't want us to.
Yeah,
talk
I'm
about it.
surprised.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for number 1. Though.
Well, March Madness, it's.
Those two
I've
are
made
interchangeable, those.
25 brackets like the past 7 years.
What's one here, Clay? I mean, we talking Kentucky Derby here, or
We didn't forget
I mean,
about that.
Stanley?
Hey,
We're going
Cup
Tour de
Champions.
France. No.
Tour de France.
Only if Lance is still on his HGH. Okay?
National Bowling Championship.
Yeah. Daytona 500. All right. So the number 1, sporting event. It's something that happens annually. You'd think, it's Klay Thompson. That Klay Thompson. Game 6, Klay Thompson, or 60 points, 11 dribbles, 37 points in a quarter. Game 6 versus Oklahoma City, 14 threes, 52 points. He's
an event.
He is. I'm dead serious when I say there is nothing more entertaining in sports than Klay Thompson when he's in his zone.
Wow.
Like there is nothing better and it happens once a year. Like literally, it happens.
Just one game?
Yeah, he has that one game every year. Yeah. He had game 6 against Memphis. Dropped like 35 points. Like it just.
Well, you do know he needs like 3 of those really quickly, right?
All I know is Boston better not let it go 6. 'Cause it'll go 7.
The odds are in his favor.
Yeah. But yeah, Klay Thompson, whenever he's in that zone, there's just nothing better in sports.
It's magical.
It is, yeah. And like I said, 60 points on 11 dribbles, that's unheard of.
That's one of the
Yeah,
crazy
37
stats.
points in a quarter.
It's nuts.
Yeah, he's just special. And whenever he's in that zone, there's nothing better to me.
So
That's an interesting first take.
So yeah,
I like
that
that.
was interesting.
Yeah.
I
Very.
didn't know where you were going.
I like
I
how
did
Clay
not
and Railey thought well outside the box.
They did.
We
They
just
did.
kept it pretty
Well, I mean,
much
you went
normal.
McGregor.
I went McGregor.
That's similar.
Yeah.
College football was not on none of our lists.
Well, real quick, maybe near misses the Army-Navy game. You know,
thought about that.
I don't watch it.
I've never watched it.
I can't
like
get into
that.
I
it.
can't either.
I respect it.
I do too.
I respect the
I'm kind of
spectacle.
done
I
with
can't
college
get into
football by then.
Yeah.
All the conference championships for the weekend before.
it's
At
a
that
lower
time,
quality.
it's NFL only
It's
time.
NFL only. That's
Yeah.
right.
What
That's
about
exactly right.
Kentucky Derby?
Well, I was gonna say you missed Triple Crown. I mean,
Yeah.
Kentucky Derby, Triple Crown all the way.
Yeah,
I mean, the whole
Preakness
thing.
and Belmont,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
But that's
I
one of those
watch it.
things. If it's on, I'll flip it on and
Yeah.
watch it. But I'm not going to make sure I'm in front of the TV.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be thinking all day about it like I do a
Yeah,
Conor
that's
McGregor
true.
fight.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could barely
Now,
eat
look,
those days because
I'm
I'm
not
so
gonna-
nervous. I really am.
I know I'm the golf geek in this group here, but y'all need to watch the Ryder Cup.
I was about to say, I've
I
never
need
watched
to.
it.
I've
in my
never
life.
watched
If
it.
y'all like
They say
FIFA,
it's fun.
women's soccer, I mean, y'all watch World Cup women's soccer.
I sure do.
Promise you, Ryder Cup, y'all will be at the TV jumping up and down hollering. It is like electric, man.
I need to watch
It's
that.
it is
There,
awesome.
call me crazy, but there's not many things better in the world than
Klay Thompson, yeah.
Clay Thompson.
Only on Game 6.
Yeah, all in Game 6, Clay
We
Thompson, he's a
dribbled 11
spectacle.
times and-
But no, there's nothing really better than seeing the red, white, and blue. I know that
That's-
sounds
that's-
so cliche.
No, absolutely.
And I think that's what a lot of this is.
Yes.
And just that right there probably takes it to a whole other
yeah.
level.
No. Yeah.
Segueing into this, red, white, and blue. What about Bristol, man? Anybody ever watch Bristol? Not a big NASCAR guy.
I can't do the
Bristol's an
NASCAR.
exciting race.
If I flip over and just like 10 laps, left, I'll
Yeah,
I'll sit
I
there
will
and
say
watch
I've
it.
bet on a couple this year, and it's pretty crazy. First NASCAR bet I ever did was on that guy that drove the Gremlin car. His car broke in like 20 laps.
Yeah, Ray must have been in
Yeah.
the pit crew there on that one.
Change the oil.
Yeah. Come on, Railey.
And we have to give a shout out to everybody's low key favorite thing to watch on TV, and that's curling.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Men's curling.
NHL playoffs is something that I've grown to love as well.
Yeah.
It's very
Well, why
fun.
don't you tell who's going to win this series that's going on right now?
I think the Rangers are playing right now. Let me check that score.
I think it's tied 2-2
Yeah, it was Game 5 tonight.
Yeah.
Lightning won 3-1.
tonight.
Yeah,
So they're
so-
up. I think
yeah.
they're probably going to win that. Don't know
Yeah,
much
they were
about
down
it.
2-0 and now they've won 3 straight.
Yeah, they're on a roll.
They
My
turned
Oilers
to a
lost
dynasty.
out. They got swept by the Avalanche. But
Hey, they're an up and coming team.
yeah, we got the best player in hockey.
Clay Thompson.
Clay Thompson.
He only touched the puck.
He
10 times.
had 2 hat tricks on 10 attempts.
So do you know what the most viewed
Oh,
sporting event?
Cricket World Cup.
WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania.
Cricket World
we
Cup.
should have gave it love.
It's got to be soccer.
It's rugby, I
Cricket
bet.
World Cup's actually number 4.
Wow.
2.2 billion watching that.
Super
No.
Bowl up there?
They're not
no.
billions.
Number 5 is Winter Olympics, 2.1 billion. Cricket World Cup, 2.2 billion. Tour de France, 3.5 billion.
Wow.
FIFA World Cup, 3.57 billion. And Summer Olympics,
Really?
3.6 billion.
And I feel like I'm always looking at the Summer Olympics. That's always kind of been my favorite of the winter.
Yeah.
I felt like this
Winter
last
sucks.
Summer Olympics, though, I wasn't into it like I used to be.
It was the time. It was
Is
the
that,
time
is,
zone.
is that what
They
it was?
were in China.
And that might have been.
Yeah.
That's
I
what you were
just-
thinking about.
That's
about
when I watched
waking
the
up to
women.
watch the women's soccer team. Like
Waking up at
your
3 on
premier sport.
Yeah, that's-
The premier sport is always soccer, obviously.
yeah.
That and the swimming.
I love the swimming.
If the USA was going to watch, you had to wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and that's probably what
And
it was.
that was a big toll.
Because I remember,
barely got into
I
it.
remember, man, you'd be like during the day, you're like, all right, Michael Phelps.
Yes.
races
See, that
at
crap's
7:30
awesome.
that
Prime
night,
time,
You know, and
yeah.
you were ready to go, and I just didn't have that this year at all.
Yep.
And well, no, when I was growing up, it's back when we had black and white TVs.
Antenna, you're
Rabbit
like,
ears.
It was on, it was always tape delay.
Yeah.
There was no internet, so you had no
You didn't
instant.
know. You didn't find out.
instantly know it.
That's right.
You didn't know that. NBA playoffs.
I was about to say that was
always-
the same thing.
NBA was
Yep.
always it was tape delay or the following day. You could never watch a game live.
Right.
Wow.
I
didn't know that.
So it was.
And the Summer Olympics were kind of like that this year. I get notifications.
That's basically
who
what it
would win and
was.
stuff. I'm like, well, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
I already know. Like,
Yeah, I remember
So it
the
was
first
easier to
betting,
watch
man.
back then.
the first women.
That's Railey's got a betting there.
Rayleigh's over here scratching his head, taking down notes. About to run a Ponzi scheme or something.
Celtics going to win this one.
Rayleigh goes to the casino.
It's like Back to the
$2
Future
grand
too.
on the Celtics.
It's Back to the Future too.
The
Hot
grandma
tub
car's
time
got it
machine.
this time.
It's going to make it 35 laps.
Yeah, that's right. But no, yeah, the Summer Olympics, that doesn't surprise me just because of the world.
It's the
what it
world's
draws.
event.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
it makes
brings.
sense.
So the World Cup was not up there then?
It was number 3, I think he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, number 2, World Cup.
Okay.
FIFA
Yeah.
World
Cup's
Cup
two.
is number 2.
I'd
And
like to
Winter
point out-
Olympics was number what?
5.
I'd like to point out to Peyton there was no golf on there.
Oh.
There was not golf. And
No
that's
golf
a
on
that's a
this.
worldwide.
Well, there will be
event.
now with LIV, baby.
Oh yeah, it's
Well,
going to
was
take
on
over.
what?
On that top 5 viewing list.
Oh.
Yeah.
There was no
Technically,
Klay
there's golf
Thompson?
on Olympics though.
That's
They did bring it back.
Klay
Yeah.
Thompson
they got
was
golf
number
in the
6.
Oh, Klay Thompson number 6.
Klay Thompson was number 6.
Klay Thompson
8.6 million.
events was number 6.
Well, I mean, it has to be
event.
6.
Look him up on YouTube.
No doubt.
Craziest things you'll ever see, I swear.
Yeah.
So anything else that missed?
I mean, Yankees, Red Sox. If you want to do it,
Yeah,
you
that's a
guys
good
do.
Sox maybe. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
I watched Ohio State, Michigan every year.
every year
I
do
go
too.
out of my way because it's always the
Well,
same days,
LSU, Alabama.
the Christmas
Yes,
parade down here.
yes, Yeah.
LSU,
LSU,
Alabama, that
Bama.
didn't
Yeah,
get mentioned.
absolutely.
It's going to be good no matter how bad
It
one
will.
team
Somehow.
is.
Exactly. Somehow always is going to be a
And
good game.
like he said, Duke, North Carolina.
Yeah.
I think that's number
That
one.
that
If
was
picking
probably
a
my number
game,
6.
It does not matter how
Iron Bowl,
bad or good a team is.
I don't miss the Iron Bowl.
Oh, you
I
can't
don't
miss
know
that.
why.
And it's always at a
Same
good
day.
time.
Yes, it is
It's
a good
right
time.
after the
Yeah.
Christmas
Thanksgiving,
parade.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Yep.
always watch that. Other than that, there's not a lot of good NFL rivalries that just grab me. You know, I know everybody wants the Packers, Bears, and all that, but Bears have been so irrelevant.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
That's a good one.
Thanksgiving Day of football.
Makes me enjoy the Lions. Yeah.
It makes you adjust your fantasy football lineup
Heck
to
yeah.
get more players that day.
You got to have a guy in every game.
Absolutely.
It might suck, but
Those Manning Brady games were
They used
Manny
to be
Brady,
awesome.
yeah.
That's right. No,
Playoff games.
you always made sure you were watching that, and I agree with that.
well,
That
now
was
you
so
have the
good.
Mahomes on prime times. I guess that's something that if he's on there, you're going to want to watch,
Yeah, you
especially
don't
if he's
turn it
going
off.
against like the Bills or Packers or
Yeah.
Bucks.
Yeah, no, that's. I'm trying to.
Is
think.
WrestleMania? Is that a sport?
Used to be for me, man. That was
Yeah.
my stuff.
It's the Super Bowl of wrestling.
ESPN owns them, so I guess
Honorable
that's a
mention.
sport.
Yeah.
That ain't bad for sure.
I can't think of.
I can't think of many more.
Yeah, I mean,
Dodgeball.
Yeah.
Dodgeball.
Cornhole.
Is that when ESPN becomes the Ocho?
ESPN 8.
The Ocho.
Now that's an event right there. That one day of the year.
Hey, no,
Yeah.
Ty, every year, 'cause somehow I always find it on TV. Every year I text them about it because we laugh about it. The SWAC Women's Bowling Championship always makes ESPN for some reason.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was women's bowling. It's
Okay,
the SWAC.
yeah.
it's-
Oh yeah.
I'll sit there and watch it. I mean, I
I
don't know
I
why.
have to admit, I watched
You
women's college bowling.
You
this
sure
year.
did. Tech made a regional.
Tech
Tech
was in the last.
Yeah, we were one of the best teams in the
We
nation.
almost went to the Final Four.
Yeah.
We were in the regional final.
Wow, I didn't even know they had a Final Four.
I would
for it.
love to be a
Maybe next
collegiate
year.
I didn't know that either till I
I
tuned
did not
in.
know that.
bowler.
Wow,
About the hot dog eating contest.
Yeah. Oh,
That's a
Nathan
spectacle.
Zane.
Hey.
Joey Jaws.
Yeah, Joey, of course.
Yeah.
I was more of a Kobayashi guy.
Kobayashi.
See, any golf major for me, I'm all in. I mean, but there's some, like, it depends on where they're at the British Open. Some is not appealing, than others. But it's always around my birthday weekend. I'm like, I'll get up at 2 o'clock in the morning when
Yeah.
they're airing live, and I'll just sit
Wow.
and watch it all night. I've done it every
Yeah.
year. It's kind of a tradition.
And
Yeah,
probably,
that's a good
something that's
tradition.
probably it's a little bit out there, like my Klay Thompson, but Tiger Woods at the Masters. If
Tiger
he's
Woods.
in it on that
Tiger
last
Woods
day,
swinging a golf
In
club.
golf.
Is a
yeah,
spectacle.
Yeah.
like
That's
that's
Driving
amazing.
range, doesn't matter.
Tiger Wood holding an iron. You got to watch it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
What
I'll
he
watch it.
draws eyes
Or
to.
how about this? Tiger Woods in his championship red.
Yeah.
That's even when it matters.
Yeah.
He's actually going to play for something.
Yeah.
That Masters, what was it, 2019, 2018?
Yeah,
Like that was.
That's one
awesome.
of the best moments.
Like
I've
I
ever
remember
seen.
where I was at watching. Like it's
Yeah.
one of those events.
I wore my red
remember.
polo to church.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah, no, that he brings so many eyes to TV, man. It's unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
So I guess we're gonna wrap it up there, guys. One of these days we're gonna get Ty on here, and
That's right.
I can't wait for that day. It's gonna be
Something to look forward
electric,
to.
and we're missing Kyle today as well. He had to go run some family errands, but
And one
thanks
day
to,
we'll get a pod under an hour and 30. You know, we just
maybe,
keep. I
probably
don't know
not.
how we did this again, but sorry.
we just have a lot
Yeah.
of fun, guys,
Just comes
making.
out.
these.
I guess
We really do.
the live tour with the fireballs and the four
and
aces.
the Ironheads. Okay?
Yeah, they just.
Hey, big thanks to UFC Bill.
Yeah, shout out to
Yes,
UFC Bill
yes.
I
making
feel
his
like our
debut.
UFC was really good.
I'm going
I
to
think
make
we
some
did good with
bets
that.
based on
Hey.
y'all's picks.
Hey,
Yeah. 0 for 3.
I have a feeling we'll be hearing more from UFC Bill in the future.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, be looking for him anytime, anywhere, any
This
place.
is a blast.
basically.
I love this. This is just,
Yeah,
Awesome.
we have a blast doing this, guys. We hope y'all enjoy listening as well. As usual, please let us know anything you want us to discuss and like and subscribe.
Give us a
and-
dirty top 5.
Yeah, give us some dirty 5 topics, you know,
Yes.
because I'm not gonna lie, we came up with this around like noon today, and
Yes.
I think it was pretty freaking good.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
And
yeah.
We'll post everybody's 5 out there on social
yeah,
media.
I will.
And let
Oh,
us,
I'll get it in there.
and
tomorrow.
let us know
Let us
who
know
does
who-
the best.
Yeah, let us know
Yeah,
which
I'd
one
like
you
to
would.
know that.
Yeah, I want a
prefer.
little bit more
What we
interaction
missed.
with that. You know,
Yeah.
I want some people telling me I suck. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can handle it. We
Hey,
can
I got
handle it.
told I won
We got
the
that.
fantasy movie draft today. Thanks,
Whoa.
Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle
Hey,
Reeves. Kyle Reeves.
Kyle, easy,
Yeah.
bud. I don't like being second. Man.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we're gonna wrap it up there. Here comes a song by a local Jonesboro fella named I Am King Tut.
Yeah.
This is called Nirvana. So enjoy this while we hit the outro.
Go Warriors.
Hey, chop on.
Who dat?